Good morning, winners. Happy Thursday to you. 2024 is your year. Guys, I hope your year is off to as big a bang as my year is. Uh, Yesterday, we had um, a milestone event for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the SEC approved. First, the news said that they approved 9 of 13. Now it's saying they approved actually all 11 ETFs. So 11 ETFs out of 13 applications were approved yesterday. That is a massive milestone. Don't believe the hype, guys. This is not going to bring $100 billion worth of money into Bitcoin this year, and Bitcoin's going to go to 500, $500,000. They're not going to let this. They are not going to allow this to collapse the dollar. That is the big piece. So it will be measured. A lot of people aren't going to tell you this, but most of the ETFs are going to be able to buy their Bitcoin over the counter. So you're not going to see it show up in the volume right away. It will still come into the volume, but it just takes a little bit while for it to flow into the volume that way. Anyway, a very exciting day yesterday. So congratulations to all of you. We have a very special show today. Good morning, George.
Yeah, good morning, Jay.
Everything going good in your world? I know it is.
It is, and hopefully you're enjoying your life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we have a real special show today. We're limited on time in general because we don't like to keep you guys for 3 hours at a time. So I'm going to jump right into it and waste no time. Thank you for the beautiful picture, George. Who is this? Is this another bench team member sending in their getaway trip?
This is another binge team member, and you know what? I don't remember who it is, but it's in my notes. So thank you. I could hear the tss of the sun on that one.
Yeah, it's wonderful. All right, just so in jumping in with it, guys, I guess about 2 months ago now, getting to be 2 months ago, Doug Zuko, who you guys heard from here on the show just a couple weeks ago, he had been hounding me for about a year that I had a technology, or he had a technology that I needed to try. And you guys know me, I don't put up addresses for you to tip me. I don't put out addresses for you to send gifts and cards to me. I don't want any of that. I want all of you to prosper. I want all of you to have an amazing life. And and if anything, I don't want you putting me or other people on pedestals. That's why I don't do that. And so after a year of Doug kind of hounding on me, I finally said, okay, listen, send it to this address and they'll forward it to me, and I'll get what you've got for me. Oh my goodness, I wish I had not waited a year. He's probably listening to this. By the way, I invited him to come this morning, but I don't think he got my message. Let me look here. See if he got it. I don't think he got it. So anyway, he sends me a package, and that package he sends me, we're going to get into a little bit this morning, and we have the inventor, creator, founder, whatever the actual label applies, with us today. He's a doctor. I think his field of study was in chiropractic, and you're going to hear from him today. He's a fantastic human being. I've been getting to know him a little bit over the last couple of months. And anyway, this technology, guys, the reason I'm so jazzed up about it, do you guys remember when I brought you X39? And X39 was this, to me, it was this cutting edge technology, help your body to create more stem cells. Yeah, I'm in on that because I'm not in on putting someone else's stem cells in my body. Every cell carries with it energy. I don't want the energy of my being, the creation that I am. I don't want that changing by putting the energy from someone I've never met or known, or maybe 10 people, putting the energy from their body into my creation. So to be able to actually rebuild my own stem cells and build them back younger and build them back, I'm saying probably using all the wrong terms. the doctor could probably correct me here. But anyway, so I thought this was groundbreaking and really cutting edge technology. The fact that it had a MLM attached to it was fine. I didn't mind that. I don't mind MLM. I made a lot of money in multi-level marketing when I was younger in my life. I just think that the product can't be it can't be a rerun. Like it can't be another bottle of juice, you know? So anyway, we brought you guys that. That's been 2-3 years ago now, 2019, if I'm not mistaken, December. Well, today, I'm bringing you a product that I think is absolutely cutting edge, and I want you to hear from the doctor, but I want you to hear from him from the perspective of the health attributes. This is a product that will turn your clock back, okay? You will have the opportunity to have your clock go backwards. And why will that work? It will work because, George, have you got Paul queued up?
Yep, Paul is with us.
All right, so it will work that way, guys, because again, it's going to work with your own body. Nothing from the outside coming in, but something that we all start to lose after about age 21, 22 years old is a product called human growth hormone. It starts to go backwards. Okay, your body just doesn't create as much. You see a young 18-year-old or even a 15-year-old riding his bike and he falls off his bike and he gets hurt. He's healed up in 7 days. Okay, do that at 45 or 50, that guy's healed up in 14 to 21 days. Do that at 70, and that guy's healed up at, like, let's call it, you know, a month and a half to 2 months, maybe 3 months. Why? Because their youngevity, I call it the youngevity hormone, is producing less and less and less and less and less until there's nothing. This is a product that men and women can use for anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes a day, and you can increase your own body's production of human growth hormone by 25 times, as much as 25 times, not 25%. You guys are into X Factor. We're in crypto. We get into crypto, it goes up 100 times the price. Imagine getting your growth hormone back from when you were young, the part that was keeping you young, by the way. This is your youngevity hormone. And imagine getting that upticked by 25 times for doing something you're probably already doing, just adding this one little device to your body. So anyway, what we're going to be talking about, George, can you put up the first site? Guys, this is a site you'll see here on the top right corner. It says JW Sterling. This is a technology, B3 bands. And just to let Mike say hello. Dr. Mike, can you please say hello to the crowd? We've got Dr. Mike DeBord.
Hey, it's great to be here, Jay. Excited to share this with everybody. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll get to Mike in just a minute, guys. He's going to talk all about this. I don't want to do it injustice, so I'm going to let him do it. But this is very simple, guys. This is a product called BFR. It's being used big time in the Olympic space. It came out of Asia, I think mostly Japan. It's got 10 years worth of study. I personally have been using these now for probably 5.5, 6 weeks. Is that about right, Mike? Probably 5 or 6 weeks for me.
Yep.
And I think I have now about 22 workouts in. And can I just tell you guys something? I look like I'm freaking 22 again. I am blown away when I look in the mirror. Everything about my body is changing. It's just unreal. And if you think about this, he's going to explain this to you in a few minutes. Your working out can be swimming, it can be walking on a track, it can be riding a bike. It doesn't have to be with weights necessarily. But when you restrict the venous blood flow back to the heart, you get this effect where it increases the HGH, and I'm going to let him talk about that. But guys, I have to tell you, after 22 workouts, and that represents, you know, roughly for me about probably about 5 to 6 weeks, basically working out every other day, every third day for 20 minutes. I'm not kidding you. My wife is looking at me again every day and going, baby, those bands are the heat, right? So I'm loving this at 51 years old. And I've got Paul with us. Paul, are you with us?
I am.
Paul, you are 59. Is that okay for me to say that on the air? I guess I just did.
Yeah, I turned 60 next month.
Oh,
Big
happy
60.
birthday.
Paul, you're 6'4", yeah?
Yeah, just
Couple
well,
of
just
hundred
barely over
pounds.
now. I'm around two. I run between 210 and 215.
Okay. Paul got a set of these bands at Christmas time. And Paul, how many workouts have you had an opportunity to do now?
6.
6 workouts. And your
Yep.
partner Dustin got the bands at the same time. He's done 4 workouts. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Most of you would be saying there's no possible way that you can give a testimony about something after 6 workouts. Can I just tell you guys, after my second workout, I called Doug up and I said, dude, I will never, ever, ever in my lifetime work out the way I used to work out. Never. Because guys, when you work out with heavy weights, you're tearing down the muscle. With this program, you're working out with a third of the weight. So my workouts now are 10 and 15 pounds. My burn is way greater than it used to be. And the results I'm getting are insane. And guess what? Because I'm not tearing down the muscle, I have 0 recovery time. I have to catch my breath for the next 20 or 30 minutes after I get done with the workout. But after that, I can work out again on the same day. And I've done that. I've done arms in the morning and legs in the evening already, at least one time since I got my bands. But Paul, tell these guys how you feel after 6 workouts with these bands.
These things are. It is really incredible. Just a little backstory with me. I ran up to 260 pounds 15 years ago when I was 45. And decided this is, this, I cannot sustain this. I was always, I was an athlete, but I had, the busyness of life. I had gained a bunch of weight. And so I lost all that weight, got down to 201 in about a year, did it the hard way, the traditional workouts, and hit a plateau and lost the last 20 pounds by doing insanity. And if anybody's done those types of workouts, you know how intense it is, and it can be hard on your body. But anyway, fast forward to now, I've sustained this weight around 210, 215 for I don't know, 15, probably 13 years, 13, 14 years. But I worked out. I'm very, very dedicated to my health, to staying in shape, all that stuff. So all that to say, when you introduced me to these things, obviously, working out and having my set workouts and things like that, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to introduce this, but I'm willing to try it. And bro, I think I sent you a voice message after my first workout with them, and it was either my first or second one, and I'm blown away. I really am blown away. Number one, I can get my workouts done in about 20 minutes. Number two,
How long did you use to work out, Paul?
my workouts would consist of around an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. That included cardio, warm up, stretching, and weightlifting.
And
So
how many times a week was that normally? Every other day?
3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. So you
Um,
just got back 12 hours a month of your life right there.
right, right, right. So, and just to give you an example, uh, my typical, and I did not, I'm turning 60 next month. I have a little bit of a shoulder issue that I've got to watch, the weights and how much I use. So my max dumbbell weight was around 40 pounds for chest press and curls, just keeping it, fairly 35, 40 pounds, fairly lightweight, 15 to 20 reps. Well, with these, I've been able to drop that down to, I started out at 15 pounds. Now I'm at 17 and a half dumbbells, and the workout is insane. It is so amazing how I feel I honestly, and it sounds silly, but and you may have told me this too, but I think I can feel the release of the growth hormone through my
I
body.
know
I
I
just
can.
feel that good. It's just amazing. And my sleep has been incredible. I think I told you the other day, last week, I slept for 8 hours straight, 7 hours straight, 6.5 hours straight, 3 nights in a row. And that's not normal for me. Normal for me has always been 3 hours at a time. After about 6 hours, I wake up and then I'm thinking about stuff and I get up and I'm get busy. It is incredible. And then for Dustin, you know, my business partner, he's got the same thing. He would have come on here and just trumpeted how awesome it is. But Dustin's a gym rat, man. He has spent his life in the gym, bulking up, and he's a big dude. You've met him, and he's a big, strong dude. And he told me yesterday, he called me, he FaceTimed me, and right after his workout, he was sweating, and he said, I just cannot believe the way I feel with these things. And then he sent you a message, you and I a message this morning, didn't he?
Yeah, he sent a message. He said, let me read it. He said, Jay, I apologize for not making the show this morning, but would like to say these bands are the real deal. I've been working out the majority of my life, and as Paul said, he's 59 today. He said mainly with free weights and old school training. So, and let me tell you something, Dustin is a big old boy. Like when I walked up to Dustin, I said, I'm not a big boy, you're a big boy. And I
Yeah,
mean, he's wider than I am, and that's hard to be wider than I am. I'm talking about in his shoulder broadness. It's hard to be wider than me. And Dustin is wider than I am. And he's just a big guy. He's shaped like a V. But anyway, he says, mainly with free weights and old school training, after using these for just 4 workouts, now I can say I will never go back to working out old school again. After yesterday's workout, I woke up this morning with an incredible amount of energy and I feel like the Hulk. So yeah, he's pretty excited about it too.
yeah, for sure.
So and so I think what I want folks to hear here is that we're giving you a testimony of how we're feeling after just a short amount of time. For me, a little bit longer than Paul and Dustin. I can also tell you that I too feel. I mean, I may be misspeaking, and maybe Mike can speak to this when he comes on here. But I really do feel like I feel the release of that growth hormone going through my body. Like I'm not saying like while I'm working out, I'm just saying in general, I'm feeling so freaking good and so jazzed up that I'm going, this is the growth hormone. It's got to be, because it's the only thing I've changed. And Mike can speak to that probably when he comes on. But Paul, did you have anything else you want to share? I know you got a busy morning.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm very, as you can tell, I'm super stoked and excited about these things. I cannot imagine. I will never not work out with them. And the beautiful thing for me is we travel, binge team, binge life, all that stuff. We travel quite a bit. I throw them in my suitcase, and I can work out anywhere. I don't have to worry about is there a gym there? Is there weights? I can do this anywhere. And so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I do a push-up workout where I do between 100 and 120 push-ups several times a week, and I still with these bands on cannot make it to 120 push-ups.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I've gotten up to 80 push-ups, and I'm so spent I can't finish. But when it comes to working out, I'm actually working out with everything body weight, and I've got a set of rubber weight bands, and I'm working out with literally a 15-pound band. And man, I mean the changing of my body. You sent me a picture of you flexing the other day, and are you already seeing the changes in your body? Because I think Mike will talk about this, but this is going to like clean up the liver and kick the liver back in, and then the liver will start burning and melting fat off the body like it used to when you were younger. I mean, we're just in the beginning stages, the 3 of us, but
right.
you starting to see some of that? I 100% am starting to see that.
It's 100%. I mean, and if you would have told me that after just, 6 workouts, I would be seeing and feeling such an incredible difference, I wouldn't have believed it. I really wouldn't have. I would have wanted to believe it. And the other thing that people need to understand is, it's a daunting task to think about, okay, I got to get in shape. And that means I've got to put in an hour and a half, at least every other day. And number one, the time, but number two, the pain that you go through when you do the traditional workouts.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the soreness, but for me, even the joint pain and the first 10 minutes of the workout, it's just like, my gosh. And then the next morning, you're like, oh my gosh, this is rough, but I have none of that, none of it, no soreness, no, it's I shouldn't say no soreness, very little soreness. And the soreness that I do have feels awesome. It feels like, my muscles are tight, my joints feel tight. I even feel like I have a little bit better flexibility, and the doctor can talk about that. And maybe it's just, I know it's not in my head. Maybe it's because of something different, but I do feel like I have a little bit more flexibility as far as when I'm doing my stretching and things like that. So listen, this really simplifies the challenges of getting in shape. It really does. I'm blown away. So anyway, I really am thankful for them, and I can't talk them up enough.
Awesome. Well, Paul, thank you for coming and sharing. Get on to your busy day, buddy. We'll talk
Yep.
with you soon.
Right. Thanks,
And
guys.
without any more chatter from us and without any further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, thank you for coming and sharing with us this morning. And the floor is yours, my friend.
Awesome. Well, Jay and Paul, I would normally say I don't believe it. And I was there at some point too, but if you were looking at that website and you looked at the top 40,000 people already, LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, Mark Wahlberg, USA Olympic team, Kansas City Chiefs, Dr. Oz, Chris Duffin. If any of you strength guys know Chris Duffin, world famous strength guru, Guinness record, but this is what he does. Mike Gattoni, head USA strength coach, does this. It's going to completely change how you exercise. It's not a fad. No offense to P90X, 75 hard, insanity, great stuff. Those are fads. Those are regurgitations of high intensity exercise. What you're going to learn is high intensity exercise is over. The days of sore, the days of micro tear, that doesn't work the way it should in the human body. And you got some smart guys on here. Jay touched on it. This is the number one thing in my life, and Jay already knew it. And hopefully it's going to have a big impact on you today. Look at that chart. He said it. Early 20s, you're down to about a half of your growth hormone and nitric oxide that you had as a teenager. 30s, you're at a third, right? 40s, right? You don't even have to eat the pizza. You just got to look at it, and you're going to gain weight the next day because your growth hormone is so slow. Now, here's the secret. It's sitting in your body. It's just not being released. So at 18 and our age, I'm 60, it's still there. It's not being produced on a smaller amount. It's just not getting released. That's Mother Nature's kind of game she plays with us, right? She just doesn't let us release it anymore. But the two substances you want to know about in your body are nitric oxide and growth hormone. And real quick, what these guys are feeling is nitric oxide. It's cannabinoids, it's endorphins. Nitric oxide is rocket fuel. It's like rocket fuel. You get a shot of it, and man, you're like, whoa. I mean, you feel like you could run through a wall. It's a runner's high. It's the gym buzz, right? Most people never get that because it slows down. And then look at all this stuff that happens in your life way earlier than it should. I'm talking 20, 30, 40, or even not happening at all. These things start happening in your body when you allow low nitric oxide and growth hormone to persist. Skin, body composition, knees. I apologize a little bit for the background noise there. Heart, hypertension, blood sugar, hypothyroidism, bone density problems, brain degeneration. We're going to talk about that. Here's what growth hormone does. It can reverse aging by 5 to 15 years or more. There's no other single therapy available that can have the impact that it can have. Reduce wrinkles, tighten saggy skin, decrease body fat, increase muscle mass, booster. You know this, right? Because you can go spend $5,000 and stick it in your stomach with the synthetic stuff, and you'll get the benefits, but you're going to get all the problems with synthetic. And let me tell you, everyone, if you're thinking about it, you shut your pituitary gland down from taking synthetic growth hormone, and you ever come off, you're in a world of hurt. It's not like your testicles that can turn on a little bit, right, from testosterone. You'll shut your growth hormone down, and you're going to be stuck on that stuff your whole life, and then you're going to be dealing with the risk. And obviously, growth hormone has performance benefits. And then there's nitric oxide. See, what does nitric oxide do? Nitric oxide regulates blood flow by keeping the consistency of blood. Now, you've got 3 nitric oxides, by the way. Right? You got neuronal, inducible, and endothelial. You know, one of them gets us excited, right? But the most important one's called endothelial nitric oxide. It improves blood flow when it's being released. So your blood's thin and can get everywhere, right? So the blood can get to all the tissues. So imagine as you age, blood isn't getting into the tissues. Ouch, fibromyalgia, arthritis, tired, brain fog, right? But when it's flowing, everything in your body works better. And here's a big one. Study out of Sweden, Uppsala University. Nitric oxide in your body is the strongest antiviral and antibacterial in human existence. By the way, that study wasn't allowed to come in here, not my study. If you want to see it, I'll let you know. But people who get into long haul situations, like get on the bands in 3 days, they're on a long haul. Boom, nitric oxide. Okay, so how do you get it? Got to do high intensity exercise. Look, we've all done it. Got to lift the heavy weights. This is me at 52. I can't do it anymore. I've already replaced 3 joints, right? And I'm looking at that weight and I'm saying to myself, you know, there's not enough ibuprofen and ice for when I get up tomorrow. For me, banging my body to, number one, like how I look in the mirror, right? That's the macho side of us, right? We put our body into a secondary priority because we want to see what we want to see in the mirror. Right? And then you get the buzz, you get the nitric oxide and growth hormone, but it pays a toll. And let me tell you something. The days of high intensity, heavy weights are coming to an end. And here's how I tell you I know that, because I'm seeing it. But if you can't do it at 60, why are you doing it at 20? You see, every single person gets to a point in their life and they can't do it. You've beat yourself up. That doesn't make any sense. We can't do it at 50. We should have been doing it at 30, right? So we start doing lower medium intensity exercise. We go for a walk, we get on the treadmill, we get a trainer, we do some light weights, we get an elliptical, right? You know this, 45, 50 minutes. Many of you think you're doing high intensity exercise, but here's what you're really doing. The oxygen, which is your primary fuel, is not being reduced enough. It's like you're walking or running around the track at the stadium, right? And you're not feeling the pump and burn. And you look over at those stadium stairs and you know, if I run up and down those stadium stairs, I'm going to get the fatigue that I need, but you don't do it. And you go to the gym and you look at the 25-year-olds over there grunting and slamming and spotting, and you go, yep, if I go over there, I know what's going to happen, but you don't, because you can't. It's too hard. Or you're doing it and you got physical limitations. Bottom line is you are not creating enough oxygen deficit in your muscles. It's called hypoxia. Look at this chart. Most people when they exercise don't get below 40%. You can't run the stairs, right? You're not willing to climb mountain after mountain on the Peloton, right? And you never get your oxygen down to around 30% or lower in your muscles, because that's where nitric oxide and growth hormones are released. So instead of coming out of the gym with a buzz, you come out beat up. Instead of sleeping, you don't sleep. Instead of jumping out of bed and just feeling like Superman, you jump out of bed and you're like, oh man, I'm sore. All you did was beat yourself up. You didn't get the good stuff. What if you could do 10, 15, 20 minutes of light exercise and get the fatigue of an Olympic level athlete? Now, let me repeat that one more time. What if you could do 10, 15, 20 minutes, you heard it, of light exercise? You don't need any more testimonials, you just got them. And you could hit a fatigue that cranks nitric oxide and growth hormone. It'd be like, and this is what it's like Jay and Paul are training like professional bodybuilders and Olympic level athletes. And they're doing it 5, 10, 15 minutes, and it doesn't hurt. By the way, Olympic athletes are switching over to this, right? So in summary, what if that exercise on the left got the results of being on the right? What if I go for a walk, get an exercise like I'm running? What if I could lift some light dumbbells, third of the weight, and get the results of if I'm cranking heavy weight for 3 times the amount of time? Hey, what if I could do a little workout, bang the little ropes, do a little Zumba, get on the vibration plate, the rower, the Peloton, the rebounder, right? And just do it for 10 minutes and get results like I just crashed a 45-minute CrossFit class. That's BFR. That's blood flow restriction training. Look at this, Holly, she's done, it's over. She's in a wheelchair. Why? She can't exercise. And it doesn't have to be Holly. We get to a point where we can't do the exercise. It's too hard. Jay said it, or Paul said it, it's daunting to try and go back. It's too hard, and most people can't, right? She started with lifting little water bottles sitting in a chair, right? Sarah, mom, busy, right? She goes to the gym for an hour and she doesn't see changes, right? She's not getting nitric oxide and growth hormone. I don't care if you go 10 hours. The only thing that matters in the gym for Sarah is, did you hit the fatigue for 3 minutes? Listen to this. You need 3 minutes of feeling the burn. We're going to show you how to do it in 5 or 10 minutes. Most people go to the gym like her, 20, 50 an hour, don't even get 3 minutes. She dropped 21%, lost body fat, lean muscle. Look at these guys, Mark Wahlberg, Nick Cannon, Thor, God of Thunder. They're doing this. Seniors and physically challenged, right? They know what to do for strength training. They can't do it, right? Harvard comes out and says strength training for seniors, and they show these silver fox people on their emails and their PDFs. When's the last time you went to the gym and there was a 75-year-old in there squatting and deadlifting and bench pressing? They can't do it, but that's what Harvard tells everyone they need. Why? Growth hormone and nitric oxide. Okay, kids, we have a whole generation now of kids. Once they start running, doing push-ups and sit-ups, you put them in the bands, light years. They play a sport, won't even be close. My son at 17 years old, fastest 40-yard dash time, 4.62. In 8 weeks of using the bands, he went up to Ohio State, ran a 4.35. 10 scholarship offers at Ohio State. Didn't get Ohio State, but he got low-end Big Ten, MAC schools, ended up at Bowling Green. We got a 4-year full ride Division I scholarship because we put him in the bands in 8 weeks, trained him like an Olympic athlete in like 15 minutes, and just took his speed to his genetic potential. There's Rick Burkholder, Kansas City Chiefs, right? He puts this on all his guys. Run, biking, and swimming. We have athletes now that are cutting down their 12 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours to 1 or 2 hours. You need about 10, 15, 20 minutes of endurance training. You don't need 2 hours. In 10 to 15 minutes, you can use this, and in 30 days, you'll go run a marathon like it was nothing. Why? Because you hit the fatigue that is needed. Bodybuilders, it's a natural bodybuilder. Doctors, there's a Mercola. You all know Mercola. Go listen to him in BFR. He completely changed heavy weights and endurance training. Now he does BFR with light weights, 10-pound dumbbells, completely reshaped his body, improved his health. There's Oz. There's Chris Duffin, Kabuki strength world Guinness record holder. Hey, he's a middle-aged guy, right? He says, man, I can't bang the weights like I used to. I'm losing my strength. I don't feel the same. Boom, switch over to BFR. It all came back, right? So there's the USA Olympic team, right? So here's what we got to solve in your body. We have to be able to fatigue your body to go get the good stuff, the secret sauce, the nitric oxide, the growth hormone, and you will feel like you're 20 years old. If you don't, you're not going to feel young, right? So what if we could create that fatigue? Well, here's the breakthrough. You put these bands on your arms and legs. Now, here's the first thing you're going to think about. Blood pressure cuff. What's a blood pressure cuff do? It's wide. It's rigid, meaning it doesn't give. And when you blow it up, it squeezes so hard through a large surface area that cuts off your arterial inflow. That's like going into surgery. That's not what blood flow restriction is. You're going to put a flexible band. By the way, ours are patented. We're the only company that has safety studies. They have multiple air chambers, and we are dominating the market. But when you put it on and slide it up your arm, it puts a gentle squeeze, enough to impede the venous outflow. You see, the venous outflow is close to the surface. I want you to imagine stepping on a garden hose. What'll happen? It'll slow down. That's all we're doing. It's completely safe, doesn't damage anything. You don't throw clots. It actually is better for the cardiovascular system. So one more time, you slide up your arm, and in about 10 seconds, we'll coach and send you videos. Jay will tell you it was easy to onboard. And now we're slowing down venous outflow. Why do we want to slow down venous outflow? That should be your question. Because if you slow down venous outflow, you reduce how much oxygen can get into the muscle. Because if the blood can't get out of the muscle, the new oxygenated can't get in the front door. So we're affecting the outflow so that the inflow slows down. And you basically have reduced a muscle's available oxygen by about 50%. So now you're going for a walk, but you're like using oxygen like you're running the stadium stairs. You're curling 10-pound dumbbells, but you're using oxygen like they're 50s, right? You're going through a 5-minute workout video. You're on the rebounder. You're using oxygen like you're killing yourself, but you're not doing the damage, right? You're not producing cortisol. I could spend 5 hours on cortisol. All of us at our age, all we're doing when we go bang ourselves is just producing cortisol. And guess what cortisol does, everyone? It blocks growth hormone and nitric oxide. And you don't get the buzz, and you don't get the growth, and you don't get the anti-aging, right? You just get the joint replacements. So when you get this, you're going to feel the burn. You're going to be 30 seconds in, and you're going to be like, it's like Paul sent that first message. He's like, okay, what in the world's going on? Let me tell you what's going to happen the first time you put them on. You're going to go, okay, I recognize this pump and this burn, but how in the world did I get here in 30 seconds or a minute with a lightweight? Simple. We manipulated oxygen. So you are exercising at a 5, but it feels like you're exercising at 11. And then the first thing you surge is nitric oxide. That's what these guys are feeling. You don't feel growth hormone. It comes 15 minutes later. It goes downstream. I'll talk about it. You feel nitric oxide. What would happen if every tissue in your body had a heating pad on it and got more blood flow? And then you got a release of endorphins and cannabinoids. Your brain would light up, your joints would loosen up, you're stretching, you feel like you were more flexible. You'd walk out of the gym and say, okay, there's my gym workout. Now what am I going to do? I mean, you feel like you go climb a mountain. That's nitric oxide. You got blood flowing everywhere. It's what you're supposed to feel like. You're going to go from that on the left, not getting enough fatigue, to that on the right. And this is an actual study of 50-year-old men. And you're going to do it in as little as 4 or 5 minutes. Our new 10-minute program is pick a 5-minute workout, like arms or cardio or core, and then do another 10 minutes a day. Give me an hour a week. You give me an hour a week, and I'll get you feeling like these guys on this call are doing. And it's a national campaign that we just launched. Think 4-minute arms, 4-minute legs. You notice what the ladies are doing there? No weights, no squats, no deadlifts. You'll build muscle, nitric oxide growth hormone, just doing movements, okay? And you're going to boost nitric oxide. Now, this is what you feel immediate. Here's what you should feel. You're starting the exercise. Here comes the pump and the burn. Now your oxygen's dropping. Your muscles start to fill up a little bit with water, and then you get the nitric oxide. So you're a minute or two in, and you're like, whoa. And it's like somebody hit you with a shot of coffee, and somebody hit all your joints with cortisone, and you're like, man, I feel 30. That's nitric oxide. It'll come fast, right? And then it goes to work. It starts anti-aging your body. Read about it. Starts breaking down atherosclerosis. Starts restoring blood flow. Starts making tendons more flexible. So they go from wax paper back to saran wrap and a rubber band. Fuels your organs. Everybody on the call, guess what happens when your prostate doesn't get good flow? Guess what happens when your liver doesn't get good flow? Don't think just my joints. If I improve blood flow to the liver, what's going to happen? If I have blood flow to the prostate. You see, all of these things are having reduced blood flow in them, okay? And then here comes the good stuff. About 10, 15 minutes after exercise, your pituitary gland goes, okay, Paul, okay, Jay, you produce some lactic acid. Here's what your pituitary gland and brain don't do. Here's what we think. Your pituitary gland doesn't go like this, where it's housing the growth hormone. It doesn't say, whoa, dude, that was a big workout, man. Those were some big weights. wow, you broke down your muscle. Brain doesn't care. It is not paying attention to that. We have been fooled. Your brain pays attention to circulating lactic acid. It's the signal to tell your brain to turn on the anabolic system. Why? Because what happens when you do this type of exercise? You get stronger, you get bigger, your bones get stronger, your tendons get healthier, your tensile strength goes up. Your brain says, Paul and Jay, you might do that again. I'm going to cause you to adapt. I'm going to make you better. That's the human body. Fascinating, but it doesn't do it because you did an hour or you slam some weights or you micro tear muscle. Those are just side effects and negatives. Your brain needs, everyone, 3 minutes of feeling the burn. You can get it done in 5 minutes, get it done in 10. You can do it in 40. I have athletes, I tell them, I don't care if you go an hour, you give me 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes of feeling the burn, you can go do anything you want for 5 hours. You're wasting your time. It just needs 3 to 5 minutes of the burn. And like Jay said, 25 times increase in growth hormone. Now, this is middle-aged men. This isn't kids who get like a doubling or athletes who get like 25% and still get great results. This is us. People who don't train like Olympic athletes, 10, 15. That's not 25%, everyone. 25% is medically relevant. You're getting published. This is 25 times. This is you go from low growth hormone to Olympic level growth hormone overnight. And that's why people say, dude, I've been doing this 3 days. Is it possible? Yeah. I've been doing it 6 days. Could I really have an inch on my arms? Yeah. I've been doing this 30 days. Could I really completely? Yeah. Of course you could. It's growth hormone. And you haven't been experiencing it. And then growth hormone goes downstream. You see, growth hormone isn't doing all this. Growth hormone is the signal to go get you things like bone-specific alkaline phosphatase, thyroid stimulating hormone, IGF-1, vascular endothelial growth factor. IGF-1, when you increase it, controls aging and lifespan. It has the ability to immediately turn on fat burn and increase the regenerative properties of the body's nerve tissue. Hey, got a new fact for you. You don't have to keto or stop eating carbs to go into fat burn. That's the hard way that your body doesn't like. That slows metabolism down, by the way. You have to create an anabolic response. I don't care if you ate a pizza before you do this. Your body will go into fat burn because you're going to release thyroid hormones and IGF-1. Look at this study on heart. Walking plus BFR stimulates your cardiovascular system, get younger. I'm talking atherosclerosis, ischemic heart disease. There's the chart of the study. Blood sugar benefits. Scandinavian Journal of Medicine. How many people on this card are starting to deal with insulin resistance, right? They should quit calling it a disease. It is not a disease, everyone. It's a get off the couch and do what your body was supposed to do problem. You should not have blood sugar problems. My guess is all of you aren't drinking Kool-Aid all day long, but many of you are starting to deal with blood sugar. Why? Because you're not exercising your fast twitch muscles and burning glycogen, and your body then doesn't have to replace it and turn on blood sugar metabolism. These findings translate into beneficial applications for people who in the diabetic or pre-diabetic who may not be able to sustain. Read the last 3 words for me. You see, if you can't sustain high intensity exercise, you're going to end up with blood sugar problems at some point. It's how the human body works, right? That doesn't mean go for a walk. It's not going to do it. You're not going to Planet Fitness and getting on the elliptical or the treadmill for 30 minutes and walking out with guns and 6-packs and energy and better sleep. Doesn't work that way. Not enough fatigue. So this simulated high intensity exercise doing BFR. Look at this one. Exercise increases bone-specific alkaline phosphatase. And I apologize for that background noise, but this was a 30 times increase in bone-specific alkaline phosphatase. Guess what the subjects were doing? Walking. You'd think I got to go in, the ladies got to go in the gym and lift heavy weights and strength gain and get a trainer. No, walking increased it. Why? Because of the oxygen reduction. And then brain benefits. There is a direct relationship between your brain and your muscle. It's called the biodirectional relationship. You lose your muscle, your brain's right behind it. It's right out of Harvard. You lose your muscle, your brain's going to atrophy and you're going to get brain degenerative problems. You keep your muscle, you will keep your brain. Why? Because of a thing called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Go read about BDNF or just go watch my video on that. And I apologize again for this background noise. I didn't know this was going to be going on. But brain-derived neurotrophic.
We can't hear it, Mike, just so you know.
Yep, I can't hear it either.
Can or can't?
We cannot.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
so it's
apologize.
good.
One second.
You're good. We cannot hear the background noise. We can just hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor is fertilizer sitting in your brain. You see, people think you got to go get some. No, it was put in your brain, but it doesn't get activated until you do the exercise. So imagine having fertilizer in your brain and you stimulate it every day. You're going to sleep better. You're going to function better. You're going to focus. You're going to work, and you're not going to get brain degenerative problems. All this stuff I'm teaching is all approved in science. Okay. Next, thyroid. What's the American Thyroid Association say right on their website? Every hypothyroid should do high intensity, vigorous, short exercise. And here's what most women end up doing. They start doing long endurance exercise and they make the thyroid worse. Why? Because they're exercising above the oxygen deficit they need and they're just producing cortisol. Ladies on the call, let me tell you what will happen to your body if you keep overtraining. You're going to crash your thyroid. You're going to hold on to fat and you're going to eat up all the muscle in your body because cortisol has the exact opposite. Ladies, you need to switch over to 5, 10, 15-minute workouts that focus on stimulating growth hormone. Veins get better. Venous compliance improved in this study. The immune system gets better when you do BFR. And the pain effect is incredible. This is a study in trends in endocrinology medicine. BFR increases anti-inflammatory macrophages by 163%. So Jay and Paul are walking around with it's like somebody turned on the natural ibuprofen system in their body, which is the anti-inflammatory, and their joints aren't hurting and swollen. The arthritis is still there, but it doesn't hurt. You see, you got this system in your body. BFR turns it on, not by 10%, 163%. That's how Jennifer got rid of her 16-year fibromyalgia. Tim, in 1 week, got rid of his 20-year-old knee pain. Look at this study in trends in endocrinology and metabolism. Muscle size changes similar to high-intensity exercise. Aerobic benefits that also increase muscle mass. Improved vascular endothelial function and peripheral circulation in elderly people. Improve systolic blood pressure, increase in anti-inflammatory macrophages. This is right out of our most respected publications. And finally, this is the peer review by 14 non-BFR medical experts. Increased strength and hypertrophy, greater reduction in high blood pressure. Read the bottom one. Demonstrates the ability to upregulate the fibrolytic pathway and demonstrated after just one session. After one session in young and old, to start reducing coronary artery disease. It starts breaking down atherosclerosis on the first session. That means you can reverse cardiovascular disease. And that's what people notice. My blood pressure's down. I got more energy. I'm sleeping better. You're talking about the widowmaker stuff, getting that out of your life by reversing these processes. So I'll tell you what, everybody's going to be exercising this way. This is not a fad. This is backed in over 500 research papers in science out of Japan. We're about 4 or 5 years in from now. All the Olympic and NFL teams are doing it, and it's heading straight for the general population and everywhere in the world. Everybody's starting to buzz and talk about it. And it won't be gone in 2 years. We'll just be doing it smarter. By the way, just to give you an idea of the status of my company, I teach a 6-hour course on this to doctors, athletic trainers, PTs, just about every PT, athletic trainer, personal trainer through NASM, chiropractor in the country. When they take my 6-hour course so I can help them help their patients, they get 6 hours of license renewal. So that shows you all the governing bodies have accepted BFR and they've welcomed me in to train all of these people. And if you want to make it even easier and get some follow-along workouts, there's a way to get a mobile app. You'll see it when you buy a set of bands. The workouts are right on the mobile app, and all the education pieces are there. And finally, after the call, you really want to get plugged in, see what people are doing, join the challenge, ask questions. We got about 3,000 or 4,000 people on Facebook group, and it's just starting to blow up. Just come on over to IMB3 Facebook group. And excuse me, one last thing here. The reason I'm here and the reason I do this is to help people like Jay and Paul and people like you. I'm not here because this is an MLM company. Look, if you love MLM, great. Let's go do it. But you're here because of this technology. And I only ask one thing. When we help you, when I give you my heart and soul and love to help you change your life, all I want you to do is share. Help me tell people about it. Help us turn that 40,000 into 1 million and then 10 million people. And everybody's going to be walking around feeling like this and turning back the clock 30 years or so. So with that said, yeah, you can tell I'm excited, man. I've been excited since I found this technology. But think of this, everybody. It's my last comment to you. I get up every day and hear stories like this. Can you imagine? Every day I get up, I get 2 or 3 stories like Jay's and Paul's. And it just, you talk about fuel for living a life and just want to keep going out there and do it more. When I hear Jay and Paul's story, I want to go help all 167 people on this call get the same thing. So Jay, thanks for having me on. I'm sure you may have some questions, or maybe some of your awesome attendees might have some.
Yeah. So there are some questions coming in. And, I haven't had the opportunity to do this. I'll do it now publicly. I just want to thank you for putting this together. I'm not talking about this presentation. I'm talking about this product. Thank you for putting it together. Thank you for bringing it to anybody that's willing to stand still and listen, because I'm one of those people, Dr. Mike, that when I get a hold of something, I go read every single thing there is to know about it. And that's what I've been doing for 5 or 6 weeks. I go listen to every video. I told you I've listened to most of yours 6 or 7 times. I could almost recite them. And that's what's got me so excited about this. Like, again, I'm not an MLM guy anymore. I'm not ever going to do MLM. I have an influence here with a lot of people. It may look like after today that I'm doing MLM when you probably see the orders that will come in, but this is the only time I'll ever do this. I won't do this 10 times. I won't do this 20 times, but I'll do this here with the group. And anybody in my life that'll stand still, I'll tell them about this. Anybody that I run across, I will tell them about this product. And I want to thank you for putting it together. It's already, in a very short period of time, changed my health. And I didn't think that was possible. The reason I didn't think that was possible is because I thought I was already living at one of the most optimal healths a person could live at. I don't do alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm very, very, very selective about any food that goes in my body. I'm on a pretty intense exercise routine. I wouldn't say workout. I do work out with weights. I'm now working out with just bands. I'm actually right now, I don't tell people, Mike, where I'm at in the world. I don't tell them where I live. I don't tell them where I'm vacationing, but I'm currently on a 7-month trip. And to be able to bring your little B3 band bag and everything I need to work out in that and not miss a beat from being at home. And it's like, I would have never considered that in the past. Like when I'm traveling in the United States, I literally have a boxed dumbbell that I take everywhere with me so that I can get a dumbbell workout in. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that 50-pound weight carrying around in the back of the jet. So thank you for putting this together. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I'm glad that our paths have crossed. I'm sorry to Doug. I want to say thank you to Doug for making the introduction. And I'm sorry, Doug, that it took me a year to wake up to the fact that maybe it's not such a bad thing to allow somebody to do something for you every now and then. So Doug, thank you for sending me my bands. It was an amazing gift. It's changed my life. And with that, I think we'll go into some questions. And Dr. Mike, if you don't mind me asking the first question, I see on your presentation, there's a number of people working out with both the leg bands on and the arm bands. Can you talk about that for a minute? Because I'm typically just wearing the arm bands when I'm doing something upper body, and I'm wearing the leg bands when I'm doing something lower body. If I were to go out and take a hike, should I wear both sets of bands? Can you give me any guidance on that?
Absolutely. Start with the leg bands or arm bands only and learn how to create the burn. You're not going to create damage by putting all four on, but it's going to decrease the efficiency. And you've seen this, Jay. I put the arm bands on, I put the leg bands on, I can go get the burn and I can keep it going. Now, once you've got acclimated to them, if you're going to do a multiple joint exercise, some burpees, some plyometrics, some yoga, and you can get the burn going in both the upper or lower, or do some push-ups, jump down and do some squats, and you can get multiple muscle groups going where you get the burn, then absolutely try it, but you don't need to. But it's not going to do you any benefit to put all four on, not get the burn, wear them for 20 minutes. You're probably just going to end up producing cortisol. So that's a great question and a common question. For new people, just start with arms or legs, right? First workout, we're not going to go to the gym and do an hour. First workout, put them on for 5 or 10 minutes, like the videos we'll send you. Get a light little burn going, get that pump, get your bands off. This is the number one thing I have to tell people, get them off. Because if you keep going, you're going to get cortisol. You're not going to drop dead. You're not going to throw a clot, but you're going to go from anabolic to stress. So the number one thing you got to do, and let me give you 3 things now, by the way, 3 things that you're going to look for to know you're in the zone. Number 1, you should feel the buzz. And when you get done, you should still have the buzz. If you lose the buzz, the nitric oxide, you're already in cortisol. You went too far. Could be 6 minutes, could be 10, could be 20, could be 25. My cutoff is like 13 minutes. My sweet spot is 12. Number 2, nothing should hurt. If you feel pain, back it down, change your movement, quit doing that exercise. You don't need to work your biceps to get growth hormone. Don't need to work your shoulder. We'll give you some shoulder rehab, but you should come out of it with no pain. And the next day you ought to jump out of bed. If you get out of bed and you're like, or you get that delayed onset muscle soreness, you went too far. You're not going to get the results. So feel the buzz, keep the buzz. When you're done, no pain, wake up the next day. You should feel like, whoa, I'm 20, 30 years younger. You get that going, and don't worry about 8 minutes. Don't worry about 10. Get that out of your mind. No pain, no gain hour. Just flush that. You do that, and you're going to feel like these guys are feeling.
Someone says here, Dr. Mike, I was introduced to this 3 years ago by Dr. Wiley. Do you know him? Amazing product, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know Dr. J. And his family's using him. He sent over about 100 people.
Yeah, and you guys have whenever somebody comes on board with you, you guys set people up with 2 websites. I know that I got 2 websites. I got one is for any person that's interested in, say, doing network marketing, MLM, whatever, they want to build a matrix, okay? And then there's another site that's called the Pro site, and that's for example, if you're working with a doctor or a medical team, you don't have to necessarily introduce them to MLM. Can you talk about that just a second?
Yeah, I absolutely can. Look, everybody knows the difference between an affiliate program and an MLM. An affiliate program is where the influencers want to play it. Most of the podcasters, the doctors, and they don't want MLM, and they don't want nutrition products. We got great nutrition, not here to talk to you about that. They want BFR. So if you know those types, it's like Jay said, you go right on your mobile phone and you send them your Pro B3 site. This is all science, all professional. Shopping cart is only bands. Doctors love it. I've got hundreds of doctors, physical therapists, coaches, NFL teams. They use this site. You send them that site. On the first site he sent you, that's our site that has the member sharing opportunity, the products. You control that. Hey, I'm talking to somebody who might want to be a networker. I'm going to send them my B3 site. I'm talking to somebody, I don't want them to see that. They're a professional. But look, every professional, every influencer will take a link and post it on their Instagram and their Facebook and their LinkedIn stream and everything. So people, when they come over here and buy on Pro B3 for free, we give them an affiliate link. On the other page, B3, if you guys want to come over there, $49 and you get everything. $49, you get the mobile app once a year. You get the whole thing, which is a no-brainer. But if you want somebody to just come in and buy their bands and get a free affiliate link, they go over to the other page. Difference is affiliates get a 1-level commission. Other people start referring, they don't get anything. Over on this side, you get all the wonderful ways to make commissions. When your network grows, you get the mobile app. So, we've done that because of professionals. So like Jay said, this is easy for him to figure out. He's got his B3, he's got his Pro B3 site. And they both say his name right at the top. They're automated. So somebody buys, he gets an email, he gets his commissions. He doesn't have to do anything else.
Someone says here, Dr. Mike, how does BFR compare with taking pitulurafin? I think that's PMG. I'm 60 and doing more than 30 slow push-ups without a break is really tough. 40 something without a break is my max now.
Okay, here's the supplement world you need to understand. You got two choices. You can take supplements that fill up the tanks of your growth hormone and nitric oxide. Beets, arginine at night, okay? That's how your body was designed. So you can help the magic sauce of growth hormone and nitric oxide to be ready to be released by taking things that fuel the building blocks. Or you can take things like hormones and precursors and all that stuff whose job it is to mimic or copy, okay? Stop doing that stuff if you're going to exercise. You don't want to trick your body. It's my opinion. Precursors and all these things with like 20 characters in them that the industry's trying to make money on. That's for people who don't know how to tap their own growth hormone and nitric oxide. Now, I don't know about which one he's taken, but I've seen them and I've heard them all. Look, if you're not going to exercise and do it the natural way, that stuff has benefit. If you're going to do it the natural way, get the mimickers, get the copycats, get the artificial stuff that stimulates growth hormone, get it out of your life. You're not going to need it. And it's probably doing damage. So work with your doctor. I'm not the one to take you off that stuff. Work with your doctor. Do your own research. I encourage you, if you can, slowly come off of that and switch over to natural. Now, remember, you want to double growth hormone, you want to double nitric oxide, there's some great stuff you can take. My company sells it, but you can buy it. Arginine at night, beet powder during the day. Some of those lozenges for nitric oxide, that's going to put it in the tank. Okay, it's not going to stay, it's not going to release it. It's going to fill the tank so that when you trigger it with exercise, it's going to be ready to go.
Someone says here, thanks Jay and George for bringing Dr. Mike to us. Is this available in Canada? Go ahead and talk about the fact that you guys are doing this internationally, Dr. Mike.
Who's ever controlling the screen, go up there and click on buy now.
Okay.
Top right.
Top right.
Down a little bit.
There we go.
There you go. There's your USA cart. There's your international cart. Okay, click on that blue button on the right there if you would. International cart. There's every country other than the ones we don't like. Okay, Canada, Europe. You go right in there over on the left side there, that second picture down on the bottom left, click on that. There you go, you're ordering right there. And you go in there and you click on that. It'll put it in your shopping cart, choose your size. Okay, he's going to go down and maybe pick a 2-4. Size chart's that green button. It's the USA cart's going to function just like that. Shows you your sizes. You can X out of that. Choose your sizes, check out. You're ready to go. You don't have to walk through that. You can go ahead and close the rest of that. But that's any country in the world. Now you're going to spend about $80 to $90 to ship around the world, 40 to 50 up to Canada, $20 in the States. But you can get these from anywhere. And we will ship them within 24 hours. You'll get a tracking. And within 24 hours, you'll get an email from your coach with all the workouts. You're going to get an email that says, here's how you use your bands. Watch Dr. Mike, 5 minutes. Here's how they work. Here's how you put them on. And then I do live calls, everyone. You're going to get invited to live calls Tuesday and Wednesday. I had about 45 people on last night. I'll go visual with you. We'll put them on together. We'll talk about them. So I'm going to coach you. I'm going to give you workouts. I'm going to give you a mobile app with all the workouts. And we're even going to have live calls. So you're going to get the experience. We're going to get them on you. We're going to get them dialed in, and you're going to be feeling like Jay and Paul are feeling.
How does B3 impact mitochondrial biogenesis, if it does at all?
Great question. I'll dive deep and keep it as quick as possible. Here's what we think about mitochondria. Mitochondria take oxygen, convert it to ATP. Okay. And people think that the best way to work your mitochondria is to do endurance training. That's just a little, that's a little teeny weeny little bump to your mitochondria. Guess what else the mitochondria do, everyone? The mitochondria via the interlactate shuttle, so just a little highway in the mitochondria, clears lactic acid. This is a 10x signal versus doing endurance training. The mitochondria go in, and you know it, right? Everybody, you feel the burn in your muscles and you stop. How fast does the burn go away? In like 5 seconds. That's the mitochondria. That is a 10x signal to your mitochondria. So what do? The mitochondria are sitting there and going, okay, Jay is producing some lactic acid here. We better get ready for the next time he does that. They start rapidly multiplying. And I'm talking 10x over anything else you've ever experienced in your life. It's like putting an Olympic level athlete in mitochondrial genesis. And the mitochondria get healthier because they have to improve because you're creating the lactic acid. Jay and Paul, this is why, like that first workout or two, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of a little sore. You get like your 5th or 6th workout and you're like, dude, I just killed myself and I don't even feel this. Like 5 minutes ago, I was on the ground and my arms were on fire. What happened? Oh, your mitochondria just rapidly multiplied in about a week, and they probably doubled in the amount. And it's like you're an Olympic athlete now. And you go move a house and you're like, man, I could move a couch. And no, if you throw your back up, that's one thing. That's how your mitochondria react. Okay, 1x, do some long endurance on them. You want to go 10x, drop some lactic acid, 3 minutes from getting the burn, and your mitochondria are going to go through the roof and they're going to get healthier.
So someone puts in a question here and says, there are B3 bands on Amazon for $20. Why should we pay $900?
Those are not B3 bands. Those are straps. So we came out with multiple air chamber flexor scientific study, and then all these other companies started cutting belts and putting tourniquets out there. Here's what I would encourage all of you to do, right? These come with a 30-day money back guarantee. At the same time, go buy a $20 set of a belt and put it around your arm. You're going to take it off as soon as you start working out. It is not going to be fun. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be dialed in. It's not going to do the right thing. It's going to put friction. You need to put the right amount of pressure over the correct amount of surface area to not interfere with your nerves and tendons, to step on the garden hose a little bit. And here's what I can tell you. There's not one NFL team, one smart doctor, one university that'll go anywhere near those stupid things, because they know, they tell their people, don't put these on. These are modified tourniquets. And don't put the wide nylon ones on. They are not healthy. But people have gotten in the game and started making these $29, $39 crazy things. By the way, no coaching, no money back guarantee, no safety studies, no science, no testimonials from NFL teams using them. So, I mean, you know this, Jay, you get what you pay for it.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to ask you the question that someone put in here, because I knew you'd give a very intelligent answer. Any experience? Let's see here. I think that his answer, Tim, the question you put in, I think his answer he just gave is probably the answer to your question too. Tim had said, I have some bands and never really felt the benefit. What's the difference with these bands? And I think the answer you just gave, Dr. Mike, is the answer, but do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, when you put on the wrong type of band that is not going to modify venous outflow with comfort, you're not going to be able to create the oxygen deficit. You're going to create pain. You're not going to have enough effective reduction of blood flow. So the comfort and the inefficiency is going to allow you to not get to where you use more oxygen than flowing. And you're going to release cortisol. If you're feeling pain and constricting, you're going to go in the opposite direction, right? You're not going to get in a green Pinot and go out on the highway and buzz down the road at 90 without blowing the thing up, right? You're going to get it in a Ferrari. This is the Ferrari. There is a very specific scientific way that with safety, you modify the major venous outflow in the upper thigh and upper arm. And we got the studies. And now what you're seeing is all these companies are just copycatting. And that tells you right there. If everybody's trying to get in the BFR game, it's coming. But don't use those. Or buy a pair and try one side versus the B3 bands, and you'll see it right away. And look, I promise you 2 things. It's not going to hurt you, and you're going to love your results. If you don't love these, send them back. In 30 days, send them back dirty, sweaty, send them back. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Bands don't come back. The only bands that come back are the new ones that people don't put on. Nobody's ever called me in 2 months or 3 months and said, this isn't working, I'm sending them back. In 4 years and 40,000 people, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no doubt. You can swim in these too, right? They're waterproof?
Yeah, they're the only ones that are waterproof. USA Swim Team use them. Jump in the water, get in the hot tub. Waterproof, absolutely.
Any experience if this can help with perpetual cold hands is what Jared is asking.
Perpetual cold hands is peripheral vascular insufficiency. The blood cannot get out to the extremities and come back. Raynaud's, you can call it anything you want. That's 2 reasons. One, your blood vessels are probably getting a little sleepy or tired. They're not rebounding or they're closed off, and your blood's getting a little thicker. Nitric oxide fixes that. So you need to get back to, number 1, releasing nitric oxide, and let's get the blood thinner so it can get there. And then that growth hormone triggers vascular endothelial growth factor. And look, if the person on the call who's managed it, go up there to health, the health button over to the left on the navigation, mouse over that, go to the heart health page. Scroll down about 6 links, click on heart health. I did the video for you that explains this. It's right, there's the video. Scroll down a little bit for me. Down there at the bottom are the studies. Okay, safe, keep going. There's your safety studies. There's the peer-reviewed results in the studies showing that this improves. Peer-reviewed. Does BFR affect blood pressure? BFR and heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Look at all those things. So what BFR is going to do for the person on the call, nitric oxide, there it is. Thins the blood, but your blood vessels are going to remodel. They're going to get healthy again. They're going to start having a rubbery rebound, which means your peripheral vascular insufficiency, your lack of blood flow, is going to improve. And then you should see your symptoms, the circles underneath your socks, the swollen toes, the cold feet. You probably will see those things improve. This is how you do it natural. So everything I'm sharing with you on the way, by the way, on this call, I've put it on the website with the science. Let's do one more. Go up to health for me. On the top there, click on blood sugar health. Okay, do your due diligence, everyone. There's the video. I did a 10-minute video on it. And then you scroll down. There I explain it in the summary. And then down at the bottom is the study on how it benefits. Studies show multitude of benefits. Okay. And then I give you some easy exercises. Okay, so this is all on the website. So if you have a condition, bone density, blood sugar health, don't take my word for it. I've made it easy and given you web pages there to go. And let's go up and look at one more thing. Let's go up under perform. Got any golfers on the call, any pickleball players? Click on that golf program. You want to whack the ball 30 yards longer in 30 days, start taking all your buddies' money, stop going home with back pain, the program's already done. You want to go from a pickleball 3-0 to a 4-0? Give me 10 minutes on the court, the bands, I'll take you from a 3-0 to a 4-0. By the way, any pickleball players on here, probably there are a lot. Click on pickleball. Scott Moore is the most decorated pickleball player in history. He's an open senior player. He's got more championships than anybody. He's like us. He's 60 years old. This is how he trains. His videos are all right there. We've got a training. Here he is talking, using the bands. Yep. Go a little bit further on that video. Just scroll it out to the right a little bit if you can. Okay, here he is doing some exercises on the court right there. Here he is, 10 minutes. He's got his exercise tubing hooked up to the fence. He's at the pickleball court. He's got a 10-minute workout right at the pickleball court. Here's doing some jump squats in his basement to get him in the elite shape. We took him from feeling like 60 to feeling like 20. And it took the #1 senior open pickleball player to a level he hadn't seen before. Here he is playing in them, right? He's just working on the baseline, playing in the pickleball, playing pickleball in his man. So all of this stuff is out there. I know we got a lot of pickleball players and golfers on here. It's going to be unfair. If you got some buddies you play with in a month, 2 months, 3 months, they're like, all right, dude, what are you doing? Are you juicing? That's what they're going to say to you. And then you decide, right? You want to keep beating up on them, or you want to share what you're doing with them. We got hundreds and hundreds of pickleball players, seniors, and golfers that are using this. So great question.
So Dr. Mike, a lot of people are asking me, how do I get it? How do I order it? Tell me, because I've not done this. George is on my website, which is jw.b3sciences.com. These people can use that website if they want to be a network marketer and get their product, or they can go to the pro site and just order the product. Is that how it works?
Well, let me put the two websites in here, okay? And it's JW, right, Jay?
Yep.
Okay, here's jw.b3sciences.com. Just send it to everybody. That's all encompassing. Look, I'd go here. You don't have to do the MLM. I'd go here, right? So you can see everything. But look, if you really you want to see the pro site, look in the chat box, jw.prob3.com, okay? Either site, go to the buy now button. So let's go out to jw.b3sciences.com. Let's click on buy now. It's going to be on the bottom of the pages. It's right there. You can scroll down, right? BFR in 3 minutes, right? Click down there for the bundle. Okay, click on buy now.
Okay, actually,
Okay,
hold on. I need to see if this is going to bring up my address. So let me do something first, because I know some places they bring it right in, and so and also everybody.
George doesn't want to dox himself. As I told you before, we're a little bit private over here.
George, we're not going to get anywhere near that last screen.
Okay,
So
here we go.
You can click on the next 3 or 4 clicks. We're still 3 clicks away. Click on USA shopping cart.
Yeah, and everybody, we're going to have links down below, so don't worry about copying it down right now. When I post videos, I include all those links.
So you got 2 options here, everyone. You can go a la carte.
I just want to say something
You can go a la carte. Go ahead, Jay.
Just want to let you guys know, I think that Doug had a great idea, and that's what I plan to do, is I am going to take all the proceeds from people buying this product on the website, and we're going to give that money away in its entirety, and we're going to give it in the name of the binge team. I don't need any extra money in my life. I'm doing fantastic. I'm overflowing in money. So that the key word to wealthy is well. That means there's enough for everybody to get a drink. And I plan to take the proceeds from this and give it away in the name of the binge team, and we'll do that as a team together.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. So, George, if you go back and click on Burn Bundle up there at the top left. So, everyone, here's your options, right? There's a bundle that gets you a great product for anti-aging. It's gonna work with your growth hormone. It's got all those precursors. You get the mobile app, and you get invited into the 90-day challenge. Okay, so you can bundle it. You can do a single or a double. I'd do that. You talk about an extra $100, you get a better product. You get the mobile app. Okay, you just walk through this, and you'll get a website. You'll be 5 minutes in. Your order will be on the way. You'll get instructions. Download the mobile app. And you can immediately start sharing. If you don't want to do that, just go across the right there and click on B3 bands across the top, and just go a la carte it. Okay, pick how many bands you want down there under the sets. 1, you buy 2, you get $80 off. You buy 4, you get $1,400 off. Click add to cart. You're going to pick your sizes. Click on the size chart there. It'll tell you how to size yourself. Most people on this call are going to be a 1-3, 2-3, 2-4. Size chart will show you what to do. Click on add to cart. And then you can just go up to the top, or you can go across the top here, click on become a member there, George. Here's $49 a year, everyone. Here's why you want it. You get a year of coaching instead of 30 days. You get invited to live calls. You get the mobile app. You get everything. That alone's worth $40, $49. Then if you want, click on add to cart there, George. You're going to set up your website right now like jw.b3sciences, so you could be X-ray or whatever. You're going to get your site. And that's an added benefit. If you never want to share, great. And then you just click continue, and then you'll get into the checkout process here. And we'll stop there and go ahead and click next down there, George. And you'll see you can go up to the top right and check out, or you can go down here to next. And then you just remove items if you want to start over there. So he's put a couple things in there. You can do PayPal, or you can do credit card. Look, and also, by the way,
what did I do, Dr. Mike? Didn't I do the $8.99 bundle or something?
Yeah, you did the bundle. Yeah, the $8.99. Now look, everyone.
Founder of some kind or whatever. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we got a founder program. If you go back out to B3 Sciences, okay. If people on this call, you want to dive in, right? You want to have a nice little fun side business. You want to be a founder in the company, one of our originating founders. Just click on B3 Sciences there. Go to buy now. Okay, scroll down a little bit on that page. Down at the bottom, there's a founder button. Click that. It'll take you in and explain you the founder program. And then there's a $12.99 package, 3 sets of bands. So you get an $1,800 bundle for $12.99. Now, let me tell you why people do this real quick, because you get multiple sets, you get everything, but here's what you get in the bundle. You get my phone number. As a founder, you get the bat phone to me, and that's for personal benefit, helping you and your friends. I'm on this call, because Jay's a founder. And if you also want to get certified, there's a 6-hour certification that comes from it. It's fun. Jay, you'll probably love it. It's a 6-hour online course.
I want to do it, man. I want to do it.
Yeah, you take it at your leisure, and then I'll certify you. You'll come out of this as a BFR certified coach. So that's the founder bundle. Founder program. And here's what I'll do. So for these people right here, just take this email down, right? Because you guys are a special group. Doug shared that with me, and I'd do anything for Doug. There's my email. You hit a hurdle, you don't know where to push, what button, email me. I'm not even gonna send you over to support.
So just
you guys all have my email. Hey, Mike, I've got this, or hey, I've got a little, I got a little compartment and I'm taking these meds. You want to come to me?
So just to be clear, Mike, you're sending your email to everyone through the chat stream here on the actual GoToWebinar platform, yeah?
That's right.
Okay, so folks, where you go to put in your questions, you should have a message there that came straight from Mike with his email. I just want to make sure people are following along. All right, so Mike, we'll take a couple more questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm here to help everybody. We'll stick around as long as we need to.
All right, so people seem pretty engaged here. There's quite a few questions. I don't think I want to take any more questions about what makes these different from other bands. I think he's covered that in depth and with a deep dive, and I agree with him. You get what you pay for. Guys, it doesn't matter what you're buying. You've got to look at hard cost and opportunity cost. And while the hard cost of some $100 band is okay, that saved me $400, but you got nothing. So your opportunity cost is massive, okay? Let's see here. A lot of people saying that they're ready to get started, He's just showed you how to do that. I have constant muscle tightness in hip and shoulders. Can this loosen me up? I think he's answered that question. Yes, it can.
Yeah, I got side.
Talk to these guys real quick, because there's a lot of age-related comments here. Talk to these guys about the study, Mike, where they took folks from an elderly home and put them in the bands and what happened to their health.
Well, let's go back to the basics of what we're doing. What you should come out of this with, everyone, is I'm going to elevate nitric oxide and growth hormone on a daily basis. That's my most important thing I can do in my health, my longevity, okay? Now, secondary, I'm gonna look in the mirror. Maybe I want my guns. Maybe I want to lift this, tighten this. But in any human body where you release nitric oxide, you're going to get better blood flow. So in a 75, 80-year-old in a wheelchair with a little dementia, what do you think is going to happen when blood starts flowing and oxygen gets there better? When joints are stiff and muscles are sore and you got tendonitis that won't go away, you bring blood flow there, right? So you can answer these questions, everyone. We're going to improve blood flow and oxygenation to all the tissues. We're going to improve mitochondrial function. And then we're going to get growth hormone and we're going to turn on the anabolic, get younger, regenerative programming of the body. We're going to get better thyroid function. We're going to get some IGF-1 out of the liver. We're going to get some bone-specific alkaline phosphatase. By the way, ladies doing DEXA scans, their jaw's hitting the floor on bone density going up. And we're going to get some vascular endothelial growth factor. It's going to help remodel the blood vessels. That is a great thing in seniors to start reducing atherosclerosis and making blood vessels, which have gone hard, become more flexible. This isn't Dr. Mike science, everyone. This is straight out of Harvard, what these things do. My science is I'm going to teach you how to go get these substances that are backed up by all the research and science that Harvard says this is the secret sauce.
Mike, this is a this next question, feel free to answer it any way you want to, because we're in a private forum here. This person says, if someone has been vaccinated and their body is producing spike protein and they're having heart problems, can they still do this program, and should they do this program?
Yeah, the studies prove it. Okay, number one, BFR turns on anti-inflammatory macrophages. So the post-viral, and I won't even pick on a virus, the post-infection that happens is, everybody knows cardiomyositis, right? Inflammation. So we're going to turn on anti-inflammatory macrophages. It's going to help pull people out of this long haul. It's the same as if you keep spraining your ankle, right? This long haul stuff is like you keep spraining your ankle. You keep rolling your ankle and it keeps swelling up, right? Number one, anti-inflammatory macrophages. Number two, you're going to boost your immune system, right? So it can get this out of there. Nitric oxide and T killer cells are going to elevate. You're going to hit your body with rocket fuel. And then, right, you're going to turn on the mitochondria. So I don't care what the name is, what the virus is, what the bacteria is, doesn't matter to me, what the vaccination was. I don't believe in all that stuff. But here's what I do know. You want to pull yourself out of something where the body's challenged, first thing you ought to be doing is turning on nitric oxide and growth hormone. I've got doctors, I've got MDs who are vaccinators that I've pulled out a long haul by putting the bands on them. And guess what I have them do? Some of these people are so bad they can't even get out of bed. I say, here's what you're going to do. Your wife's going to yank you out of bed. She's going to put the bands on. She's going to sit you up against the wall. I want you to sit until your legs start shaking. Take the bands off, and you're going to go eat breakfast. And they all call me and say, I can't believe it. And I say, look, don't put these things on for 20 minutes. It's not a workout. Put them on, sit up against the wall, get the burn in your legs for a minute or two, get them off. And they all call me and say, oh my God, dude, I got some energy. And I'm like, yep, just do it every day. Week later, they call me and say, I'm out of it. I'm out. Yep, I know you're out. You turned on the body. So realize these two substances, these are the secret sauce in your body. And you could ask me 1,000 questions about health, and I'll come right back to turn on nitric oxide and growth hormone and watch what happens.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people asking questions about, does this help heart problems? And what I would say to you guys is take the time to re-listen to this entire presentation, because that's what he's been talking about the whole time, is that yes, it will help heart problems. It will help blood pressure problems. It will help. I mean, is there anything it doesn't help?
Yeah, George, go back out to the home page, click on health. Mouse over health, blood clots, blood sugar, bone, brain, growth hormone, heart, immune pain, tendon, thyroid, vein, weight loss.
There you go.
Pretty much everything, right? And this is a smart crowd. Go spend 20 minutes. Go watch that video right there. You'll understand heart health more than if you took a Harvard course in that 12-minute video right there. I'll teach you how you get there. How'd you get to atherosclerosis? How'd you get to hardening of the arteries? How'd you get to peripheral vascular insufficiency? And how do you pull yourself out of it? Yeah, and you just click on one spot there, right? There's the nitric oxide study, dilates blood vessels, right? There's the growth hormone training for the heart. Yep, it's all in there. I'll teach you this. And that's what, that's what Jay's done. So Jay, here's the difference between Jay. He's got the results, but he understands why. That's why he's on here. He's watched some of this stuff and he's like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, and every one of you will get it too. And then here's what you're going to do. You're going to go tell everybody you love about this because they need this. There's golf, pickleball, standard perform golf, pickleball, go over to perform. Want to jump higher? Got a kid that wants to do better at volleyball, gymnastics, basketball, yoga. You want to talk about increasing vertical leap. We put 6 inches on a Utah volleyball player. 6 inches. Go to the volleyball program. Her video's right in there. You got some teenagers, watch what happens. There's Emily, 6 inches on her vertical in 8 weeks. All she's going to do is do her jump workouts. Division I volleyball player, right? She's just going to do block jumps. Look what she's doing here. She's jumping in the bands. She's getting a burn she's never felt. Never felt. Now watch, she's going to do some spike jumps. And she's creating a fatigue that she can't create. What happens when you fatigue muscles deeper? You change. Look at this. She spikes with the ball in the bands. Okay. Watch this next one. Watch how high she gets up she's up over and she's a big setter and she's spiking the ball like she's a spiker. So we've got all these programs done. So think, hey, who are the kids I know? You can start them 5, 6 years old. Here's what I'll tell you. You put these on a young athlete, it will be an unfair advantage. Yep. So all these programs are out there.
I've got someone asking, Mike, can this help with the potential need for a knee replacement?
I would say this. Number one, I've got a right knee that needs a knee replacement. Okay. I have no pain. It doesn't hurt. I'm able to work the muscle, but I can't go do certain things. Right. But for my life, I like to work out, like to dance with my lady, but I can't play pickleball. So I've got arthritis. I've eliminated the pain. I don't need to be playing pickleball. Look, if I wanted to go play pickleball again, I'd have to get the knee replaced. There's no cartilage left. But if I just want to get out of pain and build the muscle, absolutely. You're not going to regrow cartilage with BFR, right? You're not going to build a new knee joint. What you're going to do is you're going to get it feeling dramatically better. So I may never need that knee replacement. But one day when I retire, I may want to play some pickleball or something. I'll probably have to go get it done. Now, go over to
I would tell anybody here, Mike, you need to hear this too. Anybody here that thinks they need a knee replacement that's not lazy, don't be lazy, folks. If you're not lazy, if you're just looking for someone to give you a pill, then go get a knee replacement. But the guy who has rehabilitated over 5,000 knees now that needed a knee replacement is all over YouTube for free. And you can buy his book for $7. I've talked about it here for 2 years. So if you've been here 2 years and you're still asking about knee replacements, you're not paying attention or you're lazy. And the guy's name is Knees Over Toes Guy. Knees Over Toes Guy. He's been on Joe Rogan. He has rehabilitated 5,000 knees. And I myself was having some knee pain 3 years ago. I started doing his exercises. In the beginning, I was doing them 1 time a week. Now I'm doing them 2 times a week. I have 0 issues in my knees after 3 weeks of doing his exercises. 0 issues. I did not need a knee replacement. I was just having some, I guess I'm getting older, having some knee pain doing certain things. So if you're here today and you need a knee replacement, before you go get, by the way, a failed prosthetic, this is something that almost all of them fail over time. Before you do that, at least give yourself an opportunity for your body to do what it has the ability to do. That's what I would recommend. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, knees over toes with the bands, and that'll be your indicator. If that doesn't do it, right, the surgery. But I think you're right, Jay. 95% of people who do knees over toes in the bands, that's how I do my exercises. And some reverse calves, which kind of simulate that same thing. My knees don't bother me.
Amen. Let's see here. Could you comment on how this would affect glutathione?
It's gonna help the body work better and help the body's production of it, and help the body's response to it. See, growth hormones,
I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
growth hormone's the master hormone. It regulates all this stuff. See, people think growth hormone muscle. No, growth hormone is the master hormone that goes downstream and regulates everything. You turn on the regulator and all these processes, glutathione, are going to function the way they were designed, not artificially do something your body can't do. You're basically going to go back to like you're 18. That's just the easy way to explain it. And again, you can ask me about, you can ask me about glutathione and mitochondria and brain-derived neurotrophic factor and cell regeneration. The answer is going to be yes. All these things will benefit from nitric oxide and growth hormones. Just how much are they going to benefit, right? How much damage have you done?
Someone's asking here, Mike, any issues with doing these bands and these exercises while using X39 patches or using the Beamer product?
No, I've got a Beamer. I've got patches. I love all that stuff. I got a Beamer. I got a patch. I got a Relax Sauna. I've got a TheraBand. I got a TheraWand. I love all those gadgets and gimmicks, right? But you can take all those, but you can't have my bands. But I love all that stuff. So all that stuff is magnifiers and amplifiers. I use them, right? I love them. I sit in my Relax Sauna and I pump ozone into it a couple days a week. I love ozone, right? I clean my food. Ozone. Me and Jay had an awesome conversation about ozone, right? So I've got all that stuff. But here's what you can't take away from me. You can have all of that, all 20 of my gadgets. You can't have my bands. If I got to go down to one thing, and when I travel, it's the bands, because I can go get my nitric oxide and growth hormone.
Hey, real quick, Mike. If I'm using the Beamer, would it be good to use the bands and the Beamer at the same time, or just kind of keep them separate?
No, because the Beamer is microcirculation, and you're doing like a 10x Beamer in the bands, right?
Okay.
You're stimulating natural, right? Microcirculation. The Beamer is awesome afterward for recovery, sleep on it at night, right? Yeah, that has benefits too, but not while you're doing it. It's just going to cancel out the Beamer. You're not going to change microcirculation by putting the Beamer on. The exercise-induced circulation is a way stronger process. But yeah, use your Beamer afterward, or sleep on it, or use the little, target location things. Keep doing that stuff, right? Like I'm a big proponent of the B3 Start product we have, right? Because you need these things, and I don't care where you get them. You don't have to buy them from me, but you need collagen peptides, not bulk collagen. Don't be buying bulk collagen. That's 95% of what's out there. Get some targeted collagen peptides, get some essential fats, get some fat-soluble vitamins and minerals. Those four things fuel the connective tissue, because here's what growth hormone is going to do. It's going to say, okay, let's start rebuilding the gums. Let's make the tissues healthier. Every tissue in your body is connective tissue. Growth hormone is going to say, get younger. If you don't have the nutrients, it's not going to get younger, right? So you're going to remodel your kitchen. You're going to pull out all the materials and you're going to put the old stuff back in. No, the growth hormone is going to tear down the kitchen. It's going to start rebuilding it, and you're going to bring in the new materials from, Home Depot. You need these new materials in your body, and connective tissue needs collagen peptides, essential fats, fat-soluble vitamins and minerals. If you're getting them, keep taking them. If you got a favorite health food store, go get them. You want them all in one product? I've got it on my website. Doesn't matter to me where you get it. You'll double your connective tissue anti-aging results.
Someone's asking, is there any noticeable improvements to sexual function in men, or like natural Viagra?
Oh yeah. Most guys are going to get up in their morning wood's going to be different. And nitric oxide, better blood flow, right? When inducible nitric oxide needs to function, not endothelial, right? It's triggered by an excitatory process in the body, right? Now the nitric oxide is released to help us fill, our organ down there. If you've got better blood flow by doing BFR, you're going to get better blood flow when you stimulate the inducible neuronal nitric oxides, which result, in the erectile function of our body, right? If you got ED, this is a great thing to do.
Yeah, so
So
someone's saying here, have you combined the bands with intermittent hypoxic training breathing practices? It causes the same effect as the bands, so combined, it should be phenomenal. I'll be buying to test it, personally, for sure.
It does not create the same effect, but it's a multiplier. People are thinking they're doing this intermittent breathing and getting nitric oxide, right? You're getting a different kind of nitric oxide, which has a powerful effect on the cardiovascular system. You're not doing breathing and getting nitric oxide and building muscle. You're not doing breathing with nitric oxide and causing reversing of atherosclerosis. So the two together, you're absolutely right. It's a compound. It's a magnifier, right? But it's different nitric oxide processes. There are 3 nitric oxides in the body: inducible, neuronal, endothelial. We're going and getting endothelial, right? And then we're getting growth hormone afterwards. So yes, all of that stuff that all of you are really smart at, like Jay, knee over toes, yeah, add the bands. So if you're doing this nose breathing or nitric oxide dump workout, yeah, put the bands on. You're gonna magnify it. It's gonna be easier. It's gonna be quicker.
Yeah, so again, guys, let's don't take a ton more of Mike's time here with questions that are right on his website. He's done full videos about, like, there's a ton of questions here about weight loss. Can this help with weight loss? So some of you may have come in late. Some of you may not have been paying attention. And some of you maybe just couldn't keep up with the excitement of Mike because he was going unbelievably fast because he's excited. He's passionate about what he's got his hands on here. But yes, the reality for weight loss, guys, almost always comes back to your liver. So when you start getting real blood flow to the liver again, all of a sudden the liver can do what it does, which is it will melt fat off the body, and
going to fat burn.
Yeah, and so, he did cover it. So just kind of go back through this video again, go through the videos on his website. I personally have taken multiple weeks to go through and even read the study papers that he has listed on his website, where he's got it in blueprint and it says, click here for the study. And I'm that guy. When I get my hands on something, I go get every piece of data I can get about it. And you guys know me. 7 years we've been together now. I don't bring you that much stuff. Why? There's tons of stuff I can bring you. I get approached all the time. George and I get approached all the time. Yep. Why don't you bring this to your team? Why don't you bring this to your team? And they're just looking to be able to get a sale off of thousands of people at one time. I am very protective of this team. So it's a huge compliment to Mike that he's here today. And it's a huge compliment to his product that he's come up with, which is out of this world, in my opinion, right? So this is like maybe the 6th time I've had somebody come to this program in 7 years with any kind of product. We had the guy with silver, and he was offering me and George, I think, 20% commission on all the silver that was sold in the group. And I said to him, I don't want a penny of it. Please give the 20% savings to the client. We had, we brought Caleb and Brown. We brought Seth with the private banking strategy. And we've probably brought 6 or 7 things here, of which I've never heard one person complain about. Well, maybe one. We brought John Jay here to do LLCs. Again, we didn't make a penny on that. Yeah. Most of the things, and even on this venture, we're going to make some pennies on it, and we're going to give those pennies away in the name of the binge team. Okay, so you guys know how I operate, and if Mike's here, I think an awful lot of him. Okay, and I get to know him through his website and the stuff he's put together. I mean, he and I have had a few chats on the phone, and those have been spectacular. But I get to know him a lot by reading about his product and watching all of his videos, and you kind of get to see a person's personality come through in their product line. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that might be worth asking before we let Mike go.
Joey, that weight loss question is a 10-second answer.
Yeah, do it, man.
When you do long exercise, you burn 200 or 300 calories. When you do BFR, get 3 minutes of burn. You turn on afterburn. It's a Harvard term. You're going to burn 800 to 1,000 calories at rest over the next 24 hours that you weren't burning with other exercise. You burn 800 to an extra 1,000 calories because your liver is functioning and your thyroid went up and up goes your metabolism. You're going to see weight loss, but it's not going to be your traditional. It's going to be more muscle, less fat weight loss.
Yeah, so someone's asking, does Dr. Mike drink hydrogen water? I'd like to make a comment before you answer that, Mike. Guys, I just this year have started drinking hydrogen water. And if you'll do a little bit of research, you'll find out that this is the very reason that a doctor says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Apples are very high in hydrogen. And I think it's one of the best things that a person can do for their health. But Mike, we'd like to hear your opinion too. You're a doctor.
Yeah, I travel international. As you know, Jay and I got a little hydrogen water smacker, and I got an ozone machine. They go everywhere with me. I drink hydrogen water, and I ozone all my fruit and vegetables. And, you know, I like to get in my sun and sweat. And I got my little Therawan. Those are the things I use. But yeah, I'm a big believer in hydrogen water. I'm not a real big believer on the high pH, right? But hydrogen water, absolutely.
And yes, guys, this product ships internationally. If you'll rewatch this video, George and Dr. Mike walked through it on the video, showing you how to get it shipped internationally. So again, I know there's people that show up here late sometimes. Can I buy this product with crypto? No, he just takes US dollars, guys, or he takes credit card.
Or PayPal.
He'd be smart to take crypto.
I know. Well, you know, I've never ventured into it, Jay, but I know where to go now when I'm ready. Because, right, I got one of the world's experts as a buddy now.
That's right. Okay, I think that's all the questions that need to be done today. There is some other ones here we could cover, but I think they've kind of, the answers have already been covered. Maybe you guys wrote the question in before Dr. Mike went off on a tangent. And so all I can say is, Dr. Mike, thank you for your product. I think it's amazing. I think it's worth every single penny I invested in it. I thank you for coming here. Maybe we can have you come back again in the future when we've got, say, 100 people using the bands, that kind of thing. And I'd love to hear all of your success, guys, because I'm going to tell you something. I've been a health rat my whole life. I've never been as intense about it as I am today. But let's also consider I'm 51, and even 21 years ago when I was 30, the available information was not like it is today. It's at our fingertips on the web from some of the smartest people on the planet, like Dr. Mike, okay? So I'm more intense with it today than I've ever been because there's more data available, right? But here's what I would tell you. I've probably invested in my lifetime $300,000 to $400,000 into my health, just in general, whether it's a supplement or whether it's workout equipment or whether it's whatever. And this device, I'm calling it a medical device. I know it's probably not a medical device, but this device that I have put on my arms and put on my legs and begin to use in the last 6 weeks is the single biggest noticeable change I have ever had from a product. Probably second to that, which was a little slower burn, was probably the X39 patches and the Eon patches. Those, you feel something there pretty quick if you're using it like it's supposed to be used day in and day out. I mean, I had a foot injury that I'd had for 2 years that went away within 30 days of putting on the X39 patch. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little slower burn, but I'm talking about put this on my body, use it, and right away I notice, and every time I use it, I go, I'm literally find myself sitting around going, okay, where am I going to fit my 15, 20-minute workout in tomorrow? Because I'm getting one, baby. I feel jacked. And I've never been that way. I've kind of like, as I've gotten older, I was like, I got to go down and work out. Okay, it's the fountain of youth. I got to do it. Now I'm looking forward to it because it's almost like Dr. Mike, you probably can appreciate this. It's almost like having a drug addict. Like I'm getting addicted to how using those bands make me feel. And so I don't want to miss it, right? I don't want to miss a day. In fact, if I miss a day, I'm like, crap, I didn't get my workout in. So yeah, thank you for coming, Dr. Mike, and thank you for making this product.
Oh, man, you're welcome.
I think it's a gift to humanity.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why I do it, for the results and the sharing and love that we can give other people, right? That are stuck in situations, we can help them get unstuck.
Yeah. And George, when we post this video, before you go, Dr. Mike, George, when you post the video, please post my my websites here. Let's try to get all of our sales to go through this particular website, whether you guys become an affiliate and go out there and build a big business on your own, that's your business. I don't care about that. But as the dollars flow, I want to be able to give that money in the name of the binge team. We'll pick what we're going to do together when that all happens. I know that when we did the X39 patches, it was worth about $50,000. So we'll see how this goes and see what happens here. But Dr. Mike, is there any problem at all if we were to post this video on our YouTube channel, which is a crypto YouTube channel? And if it is, just say so. We will not do it.
No, absolutely not. Post it, share it, send it, cut it up, break it into parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anywhere we can help people.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We feel the same way. We want to be helpful human beings that do no harm.
Absolutely.
Guys, listen, thanks for coming, Mike. Now, Mike, when you leave the webinar, and you're welcome to stay because George and I are going to get into a few things with these folks, crypto related. But if you do happen to leave on your end, please just leave the webinar, but don't end the webinar, okay?
Okay, so to leave, I click.
You just
Tell me
click
what I click, so
your
I
control panel, you click the big red X, and then it'll pop up a box that says, you know, are you leaving or are you ending? And just do not end the webinar, just leave the webinar.
exit, leave. I got it. Exit, leave.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike, thank you again for coming. We'll have you again soon.
Thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Great to meet everybody. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Yeah, so guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I don't ever think about bringing someone to this team because I can make some money. If that was my sole initiative, I'd be doing stuff all the time. Guys, I can bring you so much freaking content. I can make modules every week that'll blow your mind. I've got 5 new modules in my head right now that I'd like to do. But I just don't want to be seen as the guy who put together a team of people and then leveraged them for every penny. I want you guys to get freaking wealthy. I want you to get free. And you know what? You probably have enough information to do that. And anybody that wants to continue to stay and take the trades we're taking and continue to get the education that we give, fantastic. We want to have you. We want to have you. But my point is that I just don't want to ever be that guy, if that makes sense to you. So just know that the motivation within me has nothing to do with how much money can I make. I could have leveraged this team for so many products and so many things. I mean, even products that I produce myself, I could be leveraging this team. I could go back and revamp all my videos with information that I've learned today and redo all my videos and put them out there to you guys. And most of you will buy them and go, well, let's see what Jay's talking about now. That's not my heart's desire, guys. That's not what we're here for. And I hope you guys can 100% respect that. I really do. There are a few announcements that I want to get out of the way before we do another minute on this show. Here's a couple of the announcements. One is I've had a number of people who sent me messages and said, hey, Jay, how the hell did you know to get out of Power Ledger at that price? Well, guys, you might have heard, but I live with an oracle. I don't know if you heard that yet or not. I don't know if you've listened to the 3-hour webinar where we released her book and talked about her gifts, but I live with an oracle. And all I did was on the day that I came in and I saw Power Ledger was up to my line, I had a line on my screen at $1 and it was up to $1.05. And I said to her, hey, baby, would you mind taking a quick look at this? And she said, sure, I'll take a look at it for you. And she looked into it and she said, this is about as far as it's going to go right now. And she said, in the future, like in this bull market, it's going to go over $2. And I said to myself, okay, that's a 1x from $1. And I'm up 18 to 20x from where I bought it for the third time. The third time I was up 18 to 20x since the day I bought it 6 years ago. And I said, I'm dumping this turd. I'm out of here. I'll go find something else to put it in. It really doesn't matter. Anything that's going to go bigger than a 1x from here, right? So that's how I knew to dump it right then. And by the way, you can't say the price went down because our team dumped it, because most of the people who dumped it for a price point higher than mine the same night. They were selling their positions as the price went up. And then the next day it dumped, and I think it's already been down to 32 cents already. So that's how I knew. That's that information. I talked to you guys yesterday about her giving me her predictions on the ETF, which came to pass. Okay, so we're good there. Let's talk about her book. Many of you ordered her book. Many of you have not gotten her book. Many of you have not even gone into your Amazon account and looked. For some reason, we have a lot of people that their Amazon order has been canceled for her book. We think it was because the book was sold out for so many times in a row. The book was sold out, it would come back into stock, and then it would sell out again and come back in and sell out. And Amazon has some algorithms built in there that if you've ordered something and then it gets sold out, they just cancel your order. So if you haven't received your book yet, please go check your Amazon status and see if they arbitrarily canceled your order. I can tell you that the hardback book is an absolute gem to even hold in your hands and look at on your table. It's phenomenal. Let's see here. Okay, now, George, I feel like I'm you this week. I'm doing all these announcements.
Good.
All right, so Dove and Miss Marcy have decided to try and do one newsletter for the first quarter of this month. That the price on that is $117.77. Is that right, George? Did I get that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, notice the 777s, by the way. Numbers mean a whole lot to people that have gifts because they understand the significance of numbers. But anyway, they're going to try this based on the number of people who said they would be interested in that they would want to buy a newsletter. And so the way that that's going to work, guys, is for this first quarter, you guys will come together as a team. George will tell you how that's going to happen. It's now live on her website where you can go there and purchase the report. And once you purchase it, George will guide you through how to come together as a team and put together, I would tell you guys, they're willing to do 20 questions. I would tell you if I was in your shoes, I would submit 30, 35 questions and put them in the order of importance to you and see how many of them you get answered. You might get surprised, right? And here's the bonus to this actual newsletter. In my opinion, this is the bonus. After you receive the newsletter through George's digital format, and you give it and that has a week or so to digest, and you've had a chance to read it and go through it and get all the data, Miss Marcy and Dove are going to do a special live stream for just those people to talk about, okay, you got an answer to this question. Did that lead you to another question? Do you have something, is there something more you're interested in on that topic? They're going to do a live stream with you guys. Now, I want to put a precursor out here. This very well may be the only newsletter that they ever do. Okay? Why am I saying that? I have told my wife, myself, I say, honey, you're a grown woman. You make your own decisions. I'm going to give you my opinion. I think the amount of work that you're going to put in for a newsletter I don't know that you're going to like it. I don't know you're going to like it for the return on your time. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Look, it's not a sin to be wrong, folks. It's a sin to stay wrong. But it's not a sin to be wrong. So I've been wrong before, and I might be wrong this time, but I think they're going to go through this process over the course of a 90-day period, and they may find that, look, the market's not willing to pay what their value is for their time. And to be fair about it, my wife to this day does not charge enough for her time. But I have to tell you, just like I told George earlier today, she never thinks about money. She never thinks about money. Like, between her and I, there's a lot of money flowing back and forth. She never one time brings it up. Never. She just waits on me, and then I go, hey, baby, I moved that money to your account. Oh, okay. What money are we talking about? And she's already forgotten about it. She does not think about money, guys. First of all, she doesn't have to. I make sure my wife does not have to think about money for anything. And if you're a man and or if you're a breadwinner in your home and you're the one taking care of everything for the family, I think that is something you should consider doing too. The number one thing that a woman wants is security in a man. It's not the number one thing they want. It's not big shoulders. It's not flat washboard abs. It's security. It's the number one thing that a woman wants in a relationship is security. The security is more than money for sure, but it's a good start. It's a great start. So anyway, her newsletter is live. It's available for you guys to go ahead and get started. We were going to tell you that last week, and last week we got pushed for time. What did we do? What did we do? Oh, we had Gary on last week. It was a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, it really was.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. I've had some cool conversations with Gary behind the scenes. Let's see here. I'm looking over my notes. I think I covered it. George, why don't you cover what you have to? And here's what we'll do from a crypto perspective, guys. If you want me to hang around here after George is done and we'll talk a little bit of crypto, we will. That's up to you guys. I've got the time. And if you guys are ready to get out of here, we'll get out of here, and I'll make some crypto videos this week. But George, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have a lot. Wait, where is it going? Okay, there we go. I just have a couple of things because I know when we have guests, that is usually it runs over and it's great. I mean, it was nice to have Dr. Mike. It was nice to have Gary. I have them on my list to make sure that we bring them back at different times so we can get updates. But you know, here is one of the things that it's just a reminder, and this smacks the SEC, you know, square in the face. But if you don't have two-factor authentication on the majority of your sign-ins, your devices, you're going to get hacked just like the SEC. And it's really sad to think that, you know, we rely on the SEC to govern and to make things secure, and yet they can't even put 2FA on their Twitter account. I'm sure that they don't have it on their Facebook. They probably are revamping things now, but it's kind of a joke when people at that level don't take things as serious as we do. So the next thing that I wanted to go over a little bit was FTC.
Those are the people that are protecting us from ourselves. That's how wise they are. They're so wise they can protect us from ourselves, and they can't even have 2FA on their own account.
I know, because, you know, 2FA is so difficult when they have apps and hardware keys, and now, you know, you can scan your phone and have it's ridiculous. But here is some good news, maybe. But FTC bans data broker from selling Americans' location data. So it's nice to see that our location data, which travels with us everywhere, literally on our phone, where we have apps, all of that information is sent back to data brokers, and that data broker information can be sold. It would be nice if they could say don't sell anything unless we approve it, but that's just not the case. In fact, I was talking to someone who's at a university and they are studying, they're studying at this university, and they told me that, you know, when advertisers listen, like if there's an ad running and they listen through your cell phone, through Amazon, whatever, the things that you say during that ad, it is not illegal for them to take that information and use it, record them, to record you. So it's interesting that if you record someone without their knowledge using a device, it's illegal. But if you put a device in your home, in your hand, you play an ad and that advertiser listens to your conversation, that's not illegal. Just know that they do it, and it's being taught at the university level. Ex-users are fed up with promotions on crypto drainers, fake sites. So just know, if you see something on X, if you see something on Facebook, if you see something on YouTube, it's probably not real, and just make sure that you don't click something, download it, because here we have a crypto wallet founder loses $125,000 on a fake airdrop website. You know, his excuse was, oh, it was, you know, late at night and I shouldn't have done it. Well, yeah, you shouldn't have fallen for something where you're an expert in that field. It's just kind of sad to see. So that's really all I have, just a few snippets for today. And Jay, I'm just going to hand it back to you.
All right, wonderful. I am going to grab the board. Let me get something up here and get the data off the board that I don't want on the board. All right, first of all, did everybody get the website? It's basically jw.b3sciences.com. jw.b3sciences.com. And that's where you can become a member. And then the other website was what, George? Make that announcement.
It was JWB3. Okay, and then it is B. Wait, you know what? I'm going to have to go back because it's. I'm going to get your link. I will put that on there, but it took me off.
The other one is jw.prob3.com.
Yeah.
jw.prob3.com. And that's a website if you just want to buy the bands. You're not interested in selling them. You're not interested in being a associate, an affiliate, making money on it, blah, blah, blah. You just want to buy the bands. Or maybe you want to sell the bands to some medical profession. There is a tremendous amount of doctors I've run across now so far that are using these bands with all their patients and selling them to their patients. Let's see here. Very interesting. Let's see. I'm going to put up the charts quickly. Where do I do that here? Yep.
And we do have our first sale on the newsletter, just FYI. That just popped in just a couple minutes ago, 7 minutes ago.
Cool, cool. It'll be interesting to see what these ladies produce for you guys. I would tell you guys to, you know, ask away at your crypto questions, but also I would be asking also life questions, future questions. Yeah, I wouldn't just stick to just crypto, guys, if I was in your shoes. I'd probably try to break it up half and half if it was me. Okay, Safari, show this window. Here we go. So first and foremost, let's go to power. You can see I had this line on my chart for some time now. So I come in, I'm perusing my charts, and I see that the price is above the line. And that's when I talked with her about it. And that's the third time we've been there. I'm out of that turd. I will not ever buy it again. I'm going to remove it from my chart. In fact, right now, I wanted to keep it here while talking to you guys. Gone. So that one will not come back. Let's go to Bitcoin's chart. So a lot of sell pressure. Wow. Today, this has been up to almost 49,000. No wonder it's sold off. 48 to 49,000 is a massive resistance, and there's going to be a lot of sell orders there. But I told you guys probably to be expecting that $50,000 to $52,000 region before we get a real correction. This is not a correction. This is just an intraday sell-off at this point. A real correction would be, in fact, let's measure that together. Let's just assume it goes to 50K, which is here, and drops to say 38,000, which is what I'm thinking is probably going to happen somewhere in that region. Okay, that's a 22% sell-off. Could it go to the first Fibonacci sell-off of 0.38? It could, but that's a hell of a sell-off. You've got to come all the way down here to get 38%. Okay, I don't see that happening. I think it wants to, when it pulls back, and let's call that 38K as an example, that's going to take out everybody that's long for a month and a half. Remember me talking about the market wants to take out all these people? It's going to be hard pressed to take out these people here, the higher the price goes. Okay? And let's don't ever forget, the market's undefeated. So I think a 23% sell-off from about 50K. If we go to 52, okay, that's pretty close. Let's take it on up to 52. Yeah, so right about here. That's going to give you a 26% sell-off if you come back to 38. Okay, that is a very, very normal sell-off correction in Bitcoin during a bull market. During a bull market. Let me give you guys some game plans. So DOT, I hope can make a new high, but if it doesn't make a new high, I will be taking my profits when I see Bitcoin in that 52,000 range, provided that when it gets there, I see it kind of dying on the vine. It's not picking up momentum, it's losing momentum. So provided that happens, I'll be looking to take profits on DOT, regardless of where it is. I mean, I bought it here. If all it gets back to is $9, okay, I'm going to take my profit. Why? Because I think if Bitcoin corrects 23%, I think this will correct 35, 36, 38%. So from right there, if we go to 38, you're at $6. Okay. If we get higher and we're up at 10, 12 bucks, you know, it also could do 50%. Let's don't forget, we're talking about crypto. It could even do a golden ratio. It could pull back to 0.618. It could pull back 3 times what Bitcoin pulls back. There's 61% from 11, right? All of these are possible. So I plan to take my profit and re-enter back into Polkadot at a little bit lower price. It's not any kind of big magical move that makes life amazing. It's just something that'll make the trade a little bit better. Let's talk about ETH. I think ETH is probably headed to 2,900, maybe 3,000, somewhere in here. We've only just broken out. We've only just broken out from there. That's 24. Okay. So 24, we ran up to 27. It's not a real massive move. The Ethereum Bitcoin chart looks like it's finally bottomed. And actually, I think that there's a good possibility that this runs all the way to the other side of the channel. And we'll draw that channel in here in just a second. So at least the other side of the channel, and it might even go past the channel so that when Ethereum corrects and Bitcoin corrects, it does one of these numbers. So I think it either goes to the channel and then does a correction into half of the channel. By the way, you guys do see the channel, right? I mean, I'll put it in for you, but there's the channel that Ethereum has been in. Okay, Ethereum Bitcoin, that is. So it either goes to this side and then does a correction, say halfway down the channel. You can draw that in too. Okay, so there's half the channel. You can see the number of times it's bouncing off of half the channel. And even on this side, it was bouncing off the bottom. Now it's gone through. So probably a touch here and then a correction to halfway and then a bounce out later in the year. Or it goes out now. It goes out the channel now and does the correction back on top of the channel. So one of those two things is probably what we're going to see next. And so I think that Ethereum will run to that 2,900-ish, maybe 3,000, maybe a little over performance, I don't know. And in doing so, it's going to draw a lot of your coins on up. Filecoin, I want to take some profits on Filecoin. This is a $500,000 order of mine. My price is $5. So I'm in the profit. I was already in profit at $8 to the tune of what would that be? 60%. So if it was $8, I was up 60% from a $5 entry. So, you know, I'd love to see this push on up in here to this 11 and take those profits off on Filecoin. Okay, so Filecoin, DOT, Ethereum. We're going to see what HBAR does. We've got to get back up above that trigger point, which was 9.5 cents. Obviously, the news that came out a week ago, where they used Asia again, and they had the #1 investment firm in Singapore saying, we don't think any spot ETFs are going to get approved. That crushed all of our charts. It crushed all of our chart patterns. And what are you going to do? That's the business we're in, guys. You can't, no human being can know, oh, this is what will happen on Wednesday. This is what will happen on Friday. No human being can know. So again, when you make your decisions to deploy capital, you have to keep all those things in mind. And that's why I went for cryptos that had not moved much yet. And I went for cryptos that I'm perfectly happy being in for a few months if I have to be, and believe that they'll give me the return I'm looking for, if not more, because I had to be in them longer. So right now we're kind of in the midday blues here. We're, what are we, 11:20 in New York, and Bitcoin is sold off massively. And so it's just pulling everything down. That's all. Pulling all the gains down from earlier this morning that were way up. I think Matic was up to 90, what was it up to, 95 maybe? Yeah. Matic was up to 95.5. Bitcoin sells off, Matic sells off. So in order for Bitcoin to get a little bit higher, it's going to have to burn through a lot of sell orders up there at that 48,000 region, 48, 45, 48 and a half. I think we've already taken out most of the 47.5 sell orders, which was a key level to look at. I'm pretty impressed with how Cardano's been holding up. And let's see, we made it all the way to 61 on Cardano. And also Tron's been holding up really strong. TRX. Tron has been really holding up strong through no matter what you throw at it. All year long, by the way. All year long. It's just stair stepping up, across the stairs, up, across the stairs, up, across the stairs. Okay, pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm going to go to your questions. Jay, can you talk about your game plan with HBAR as it relates to this Bitcoin run? Yeah, so provided we can get up into some profit, I will probably take my profits on the orders that I added. Okay, if we can't, again, as I said last week, I'm in them to win them. So I'm in it for the bull market, and I can take the profit later in 2024. It's not a problem. With a 22% pullback on Bitcoin, what do you expect on alts? I would say you could probably expect, if 22 on Bitcoin, maybe 40 to 50% on altcoins. Looked like Sui was the big mover. Yeah, I saw that earlier today. I was thinking about selling mine, as a matter of fact, but I have a line in place. Let's look at that line. It probably sold off too so far. Yeah, there's my line at 131. Pretty close to that line. I think I'm going to give it an opportunity. It's only just broken out. Look, guys, when you have, remember this always in your career as an investor. Let me draw it in. When you have a box like this, where the price is consolidating, and it does that for, let's see, December 26th to January 11th. So 3 weeks, 21 days of consolidation. Probably in most cases, you're not just going to get one day that breaks out and the move is over. Okay, that's not normally the case. Normally, you're going to get 3 to 5, sometimes 7 days worth of growth in the price before it either A, pulls back, or B, starts to consolidate again. You got all this compression, and then somebody opens the valve and it goes up. But normally that's not just one day. It's normally more than that. The only time you see it like where it's one day is you get this incredible breakout, and then you get this incredible piece of news that crushes all your charts. And everybody runs for the door because they're a bunch of chickens. They're also a bunch of gamblers, by the way. Someone says they got Dove's book last night. They said here, I received the book. You can feel the life force energy vibrate as I read the words. That was her prayer. Your wife's book is inspiring. Sometimes when I read it, I'm brought to tears. Amen. I know the feeling. Someone here says they actually got out of their power ledger at $1.08 because it took a long time for Caleb and Brown to process the order. Hallelujah. Ain't it great? Is it possible the SEC's hack tweet was a test balloon to test how high Bitcoin would jump on the approval? Yeah, I mean, look, we can speculate all day. Who cares? Who cares, guys? These guys are all a bunch of wallies, man. Every one of them. They're a bunch of wallies and they have no accountability at all to anyone. Jay, you recently purchased HBAR stating you would like the potential to sell some of your position if the price reaches 25 to 30. Are you anticipating HBAR to potentially reach that before the halving? I don't know. I don't think so. I was thinking that when I bought it, but that's before the news came out that, oh, there's not going to be an ETF. We think that none of the ETFs are going to get approved, and all of our charts got crushed. Now you've got to have all that capital come back into your coin to get back to where you bought it, and then to go to 25 or 30 cents. Like the momentum was in the chart until that piece of news hit the market. And that piece of news crushed Bitcoin, it crushed Ethereum, it crushed every one of our altcoins, and now all that momentum has to rebuild. You know how many millions of people, ran from their position? Okay, so I don't know. It may or may not happen. I'm actually thinking, here's what I'm thinking, guys. Take you to Bitcoin because it's the leader. You guys watch the Fox and the Hound? I'm the leader, I'm the leader. So Bitcoin's the leader, okay? If Bitcoin does one of these numbers, where it very quietly does one of these and just continues to go up like this to about 52, we're probably going to get a decent little run in our altcoins, like a secondary run, not one that lasts for weeks, one that probably lasts for this week. Maybe this week is it. But then I expect this kind of correction. In this kind of correction, could there be a liquidity swap? There could be. Could we be guaranteed that? Not really. Not really. So I'm going to be probably being patient. I think the momentum was taken out of our moves that we jumped into. Even Matic, I mean, Matic got crushed. But would I take those positions back off and go back to cash if I had just enough profit to say cover all my trading fees? Yeah, I would. I'd take them back off and have that capital to redeploy here. In other words, to say, hey, the plan on those cryptos didn't quite work like I wanted it to. I'm in profit. I can come out even and put that capital back in down here. Yeah, I think it's a good plan. Do we have to do that? No, we can ride it down and back up. We can do both. It really does not matter. I'm just reading through your questions, guys. Okay, let's see. Some of your questions I've already just answered. That's why I'm going through these. When you were younger, did you tolerate monkey branching when dating women? Guys, I've never really been a big dater. I got married way too young. I was married for 17 years. I was single for 8 years after that, where I didn't do a tremendous amount of dating then. I was in a couple of relationships. And then I'm married again. So I've not done a tremendous amount of dating in my life. Thank God. The buddies of mine that I know that have just been serial daters, they're plagued with venereal diseases. Oh my goodness. Thank God that wasn't me. They got to drink celery juice for like 8 years to clean up their body. This person says their feelings is that HBAR, XLM, ADA, Filecoin will top at recent highs when Bitcoin tops out around 50 to 52K. That very well may be the case. Very well may be the case. I agree with you. The momentum got crushed in all of our charts with a piece of dumbass news announcement that was just bogus. How come it is every time that there's negative news around crypto, it comes out of Asia? It was the China virus. Let's see. This is not really a question for me. It's probably a better question for George. So they say, George, totally off topic, but you talked about home security cameras you liked in the past. I know I wrote it down somewhere, but can't seem to find it now. What was the company again, please? All of you have a cell phone that has a notes app in it. You guys should be using that, man. When I go to my notes apps, when I can't find something, I go to notes apps and I go, yep, that's where I put it, because it's like my go-to for everything, because you can keep it there, you can lock them, you can keep them safe, blah, blah, blah. George, did you have an answer for that?
Yeah, I do. Actually, and I'll put that in the tech corner, but I like a company called UI.com, Ubiquity, and I don't like to store any of my video outside of my home. It's not that I don't like it. I would never do it. And they, I liked them for a while, and then I found out that they were kind of all ex-Apple employees. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, UI.com, they do network, they do cameras. They actually just released a Wi-Fi 7, which you can't even get on an iPhone or a desktop yet. The speeds are insane on Wi-Fi 7. I think they're over 2 gigabits. And so, you have to have a good infrastructure. But yeah, they have a lot of everything. And I like them as a company, and I like their cameras. In fact, I just checked it to see who was knocking on my front door, and it was a food delivery person, the wrong address. So don't know. But yeah,
Oh,
UI.com.
I wondered, I heard a doorbell and I was like, man, I wonder if that was here.
Yeah, no, it was here. I'm like, who's ringing my doorbell? No one's home. Yeah, I'm like, so, okay.
Yeah. This is probably the most important question or comment of the day, and I'm going to close on this one today. I'm not going to use the person's name, but this person puts in, I am a bit gutted as I sold my Bitcoin before Christmas. Still made a profit, but kicking myself now. Guys, what's being said here by this person is the whole basis of all of investing and trading. Because you are constantly in a catch-22 when you take your capital and you deploy it into any asset. You are always in a catch-22. A piece of news announcement can come out and it crushes what the chart looked like. The chart was telling you, hey, I've broke through resistance. I'm on my way to the next level. We're going to 30 cents now on H-bar. We're going to 17 first and then 30 cents. A piece of news announcement comes out, crushes everything. Only for a week or 2 or 3, and then it's back to going up again, unless it's detrimental. You're in a catch-22. Well, should I sell my DOT now and ride it back down and try to pick it up? Or should I just stay in for the long haul and wait until I can take it out as an investment long? And I've turned $50,000 into 1.2 million, right? You are constantly in a catch-22. Well, I feel that Bitcoin's going to top out at 52, so I'm selling that and all my altcoins and I'm getting back in lower. And then it doesn't top out at 52. It busts through 52 and goes to 69. Holy crap, what happened? I sold that and now I'm gutted. Okay? That's why I've been talking to you guys for the entire bear market. You have got to put a plan together that you can live with. And don't let anything I say alter you from your plan. Seriously. Like, I'm playing around with a block of money, but my massive positions I have are not being touched. Why? I am here to create wealth. If I start playing around and selling off half my T-fuel for $7 million, I'll probably never get to see 60 or 80 million on T-Fuel. Why would I do that? Stupid, right? So, you know, I put in a position on Ethereum to make money this year. That's done that already. I've already taken a few $100,000 profit off that. I'm probably going to get to take another few $100,000 profit off of that. I'm going to get to redeploy that capital back into the markets. I've already redeployed a lot of that capital back into stuff that I'm going to make money on, and I'm going to play around with those positions, and you get to be the benefit of it. But if you let that that meme of me playing around with $1.5 million that maybe turns into 5 million over the course of the year, and you let me doing that change your overall plan with your primary positions, you are out of your mind. Do not do that, folks. Do not do that. And if you make a decision on your own, I actually commend this person. They made a decision to sell their Bitcoin. They took a profit. They were feeling really good about it then. Today, they're not feeling so good because they're looking at the price. Okay? When you make a decision in this space, guys, live with your decision. Did you ever hear me come on and sing the blues about the fact that I sold my theta 1 week before the price doubled and my X factor would have gone from 111x to 222x? Did you ever hear me sing the blues? No, not one time. You didn't hear me sing the blues. I was grateful for the 111 times my money that I captured out of the market. By the way, all the people that were chastising me as the price went up held their theta. If I can use one of my own friends as an example, Dick Argyle held his theta and did not sell it. And every time I talk to him, he goes, you know what? He's jaded, guys. Every time I talk to him, he says, man, if theta gets back to 10, 12, $13, I'm selling it. You see, this is the conversation I'm having with you right now. This is the most important conversation. So he screwed it up and didn't sell it for millions of dollars. He did that. Now he's jaded, and if it can ever get back there, the only thing he can think about is getting out. He's no longer even thinking that theta might be a good project for the future. He's no longer thinking, hey, if theta got back to this price, maybe it's now going higher. Do you see the catch-22 that you are in every single time you guys buy and sell an asset class? And I'm saying this from the perspective of, if you can't learn how to discipline yourself. Very first module I ever did. Very first module I ever did. You've never ever in your lifetime had to be disciplined about anything. You've been told what to do your whole life. Okay, it's time to suck on mommy's nipple. Okay, it's time to take a bottle. Okay, it's time to go to lunch. Okay, it's time to go to work. It's time to go home. You're getting off for good behavior. Okay, it's time to do this. It's Christmas time again, go shopping. It's Easter time again, go get some eggs. Your whole life, you're told what to do. Punch a clock, show up, get a paycheck. And now all of a sudden you get into crypto, and to be in crypto or to be in any type of investment asset class, one must learn how to discipline themselves. And if you don't discipline yourself, every move you make, you'll be saying these same words. I'm gutted right now because I can't believe I did that. I'm gutted. Many of you are hanging around here and you're paying for the subscription to be in this forum, and you never even listen to the live stream. You're just waiting on me to post a little symbol that says Ethereum trade. And because you've paid your subscription price, you can log in and see, oh, Jay's making a trade on Ethereum. I'm going to follow Jay. Jay's got a good track record. What he does, I do. That's okay with me. You'll never be able to do it by yourself. Those of you that are here every week and learning every week and listening to every live stream and listening to it twice and listening to it 3 times, man, my hat is off to you. I commend you. And I'm not ever putting me on a pedestal, but you've chosen a coach and you're willing to say, hey, the guy's got the fruit on the tree. I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to learn from him. I'm going to get to a point where I can make my own decisions and I don't need Jay. I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to take in all the ideas that he gives us about how to discipline oneself. I'm going to listen to all of his little pep talks. Even if I think his personality is a little quirky, I'm going to listen to him. He's got the fruit on the tree. I commend you guys. I really do. I commend you. I'm proud of you. I think you're amazing. So let's end on that one. Scott says, hi guys, I've been listening to your live stream every week since May of 2021. And I'm proud to say that my crypto stash just crossed the threshold of profitability. I'm looking forward to actually being a binger in the next year to two. Thanks to you both for your top-notch coaching. I've made such positive changes in my life over the past 2 years following your advice. See, that's what it's all about. I actually think that when we moved to a once a week live stream, a couple of things happened. One, I got an opportunity for six days out of 7 to refill my tank. I wasn't always just giving, and basically living my life depleted from a perspective of giving 4 and 5 days a week, creating content. So I think that was a plus for you, the subscriber, you, the person investing your hard-earned capital into being here. This is not a free YouTube channel. The second thing that happened was we opened it up and said, hey, you guys have the ability to ask me anything you want to ask me. And if I think it's too personal, I won't answer it, which is not that many things. And therefore, you were able to pull a lot of other goodness out of me that I have to offer that has nothing to do with trading. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with being a father. It has to do with being a God lover. It has to do with being a partner, a good partner. It has to do with being a good human. It has to do with, how would you structure this and how would you structure that? And so here is the fruit on the tree. Scott, been here since May of 2021, not the whole time. He's been here for roughly, almost 3 years. Okay, almost 3 years in just a few more months. And he's saying, not only is he now profitable, not only does he want to be on the bench team, but he's gone on to say, I have made such positive changes in my life over the past 2 years following your advice. That's exactly what I set out to do, guys, was make a difference in some people's lives. Make a difference while doing no harm. And I hope that if you've been here with me the whole time, that I've done no harm in your life and only done good in your life. I know I can be hard sometimes. I'm a lot less hard today than I was even 2 years ago. I just have more empathy in my life. I have more compassion in my life. It's because I live with a compassionate person. You're welcome for the pep talk. Says Cliff was saying, thank you for the pep talk. And Dave says, proud to be a member here. I'm proud to have you guys. I think you're an amazing team of people. And I'm looking forward to this go around in the bull market. Many people here getting completely free and being able to take charge of their life financially for the rest of their life. So on that note, we'll close out unless you've got something else, George. Why don't you take us away?
I have nothing else except to say thank you once again for joining us on this amazing Thursday. Thank you, Dr. Mike, for bringing this to our attention, and we definitely will have him back. It is bright and sunny here. I hope it is bright and sunny where you are, and if it's not, we'll make it so. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.